Well, welcome everyone to another Sunday edition of Team Magic Academy, which is a super awesome game that SJ is running and is going to tell us about.
Yes, so we are playing Kids on Brooms. It's a spinoff of Kids on Bikes. Think Kids in Magic School, except not that Harry Potter stuff. We got our own houses and way cooler people and stuff. This is session, I don't even know.
8, I think?
But we're basically picking up almost where we left off, just maybe a couple days with a little few scenes in between. Let's go around and then I'll probably end up being the one that recaps. Kels?
Yes. So I'm Misha, or Misha underscore less than 3. I am wrestling with my cat, who is here in my lap. Her name is Xena. I moved my mic situation, so I think she's going to run into it a few times tonight. It'll be exciting. I'm playing Kels, or Kelsey Michaels. She is the reluctant Oracle trope, so is known to write or draw things, and we're all doing about not the best job at interpreting what they mean, but that's fine. It could be Michael Jackson. And let's see, things that she's been doing in school. She owes a debt to the local mob, question mark, that they're hopefully repaying with a fake notebook they're getting from the cool actor kid in school, Sai. Also, her broom broke when it crashed into a wall along with her. So there's that as well. So she needs to get that fixed, which is why we're going to town, in addition to our whole scheme about petting, making animals wear cute costumes, I think. All right. Any rate, Brigham.
Hi, I'm Potter. I'm playing Brigham. I am the funny klutz. Very clumsy kid. Half mermaid, half human, so I only have one leg and I bounce around pretty much everywhere, which gets me into all sorts of trouble. I missed the last couple of sessions, so I was reading the notes and y'all caused quite a bit of chaos, so I'm looking forward to seeing what kind of chaos we cause now. But so that's me. Brigham's very chill. We're just enjoying the underwater hockey and getting tagged along with all the stuff these guys pull off. So, Aspen?
Hi, I am Aspen, or I play Aspen. I'm Sin, the player, or sinful underscore potato on Twitch, Instagram, Twitter, most social media sites. I play Aspen, who is the haughty descendant trope, and she is a pure blood parentage. She's kind of the animal nerd of the group. Grew up with magical creatures and whatnot, and has a potato dragon for a familiar, which she has a psychic link to, and she can communicate with any animal whose species she has knowledge of, thanks to the strength of wild speak. And that's Aspen Gustav.
Hello, I'm Twi'lek, and today I am playing Gustav. Gustav sits alone during an overview of magic, which tells us that he is very smelly, and is also the only character who has a completely non-magical background, which makes me the relatable one that you should like more than all of the others. 0.
How dare you? No, it's fine. I'm Zero, or Zero Daylight, or Michael, and I play Phineas, who is weird and intense, and who no one likes, but is trying his darndest to save the world. Prevent the death of his, I guess now, guardian or something? He's not quite sure how that works. By deciphering the various visions and preventing Professor Levi from dying, and also preventing him from dying because of his granny, who is a hag. He's very concerned that Professor Levi is going to go see her, and it'll be the last thing he sees as a human. He might see more as a toad afterward. We'll see.
Cool. So we only did a 2-session last time. So not too much. A lot of planning happened. That's what a lot of last session was filled with. So you guys definitely have a lot of plans for this session. See how much we fit. The main thing you guys are planning is a familiar costume contest, which is a ploy to just interrogate people's familiars for information. Doesn't seem like anything in... I don't know if what specifically you guys have planned, but we'll see. Aside from that, Aspen is still negative house points. She was positive, and then she got knocked down to negative, mainly because the potions professor seems to know about Kels's petition to get him fired after he's been here for a couple days, so...
Well, she can see the
house points,
future, and
whatever
she
that's
knew
called.
that he was constitutionally unsuited to being a teacher, as he proved when he punished us all quite unfairly for signing that petition. So Kels was right. He's got to go.
Kels drew a couple of visions as well, where it was one with like an arm that's like black and kind of spreading, and another one where it's like a reptilian eye, and then a more like big cat eye staring out from the brush. I think the running theory you guys had was they represent teachers because her last visions, the animals represented teachers. But let's see what else happened. Oh yeah, you guys want to try to get Professor Ames and Miss Mesmer together for some reason. I still haven't figured out why.
I feel like it's a mystery to most of us.
Yeah, I feel like at this point you're just doing it to see what happens.
It's literally...
fine.
No, it's literally to cause chaos. The adults won't let us in on actually preventing the visions from happening. So we're just messing things up in a non-harmful way to try to introduce chaos into the system and potentially create new future outcomes that don't involve Professor Levi getting stabbed.
Right. Anything else that happened would be... Oh, Gustav is involved with the mob now, or at least he did a favor, and his room has protection now.
I am
For the
a
next
capo.
month.
Yes.
And then... I think that's... There's little things that happen here and there. Tim is not happy with you guys because last series he helped you guys, and then now it seems like just after you guys revealed you knew what he was or what he could do, whatever, now the whole school knows. Definitely not anybody's fault.
No,
It's
because
definitely Kel's fault. I don't think everyone else knows it's Kel's fault.
no one knows
No.
but Kels.
Only you,
Yeah.
except, and maybe Izzy.
Yeah. Who's Kel's had a falling out with because she is
That's another
bad at
important
talking.
case, yeah.
So that probably won't come to bite her at any point in time in the future.
No, so speaking of which, we'll start. You guys left off on a Tuesday. We'll say Wednesday. Just gonna do a couple things that happen, and then we'll skip ahead to Friday, just to make sure we can get to the weekend. Izzy approaches you, Phineas. Hey, Phineas.
You startled me.
Oh, didn't know I could do that. Usually it's the other way around. I think I'm not going to help out with the familiar costume contest. I think it's better if I just kind of step back.
I think the chances of success are significantly improved by your involvement.
Thanks, but I just think I should... You know, there's other people involved that I don't know. I should just probably be better if I'm not.
Why didn't you tell me what's actually happening?
Give me a charm roll. Difficulty.
Sure.
7. I should make it
Oh,
harder.
oh.
Shoot, you guys aren't friends, but
That's a 4. Mike, that's a lucky break. Legit a 4 and a 3.
okay. Like, I think it because it's run like by Psy, right?
Yeah. Well, he's our celebrity face.
Right.
I thought
Yeah.
you liked Psy.
You know, not a lot or anything.
Oh, well, I have given him the impression that you are critical to the success of the talent show and costume contest. If you don't like him and you don't want him to like you, I can certainly.
No, it's not that. It's just I heard he doesn't like me, and I figure I should just.
Did he
Not
tell you he didn't
press
like
it.
you?
No,
Well, then how could you know that he doesn't like you?
because someone else close to him told me he doesn't like me.
I don't know that he's very close to many people.
Well, as close as he can be, I guess. But I figure I should give it space because he's. I don't know. Guess he sees me as a fangirl or something. Annoying.
Fan girl. You are a girl. You are a fan of his.
Anyways, I think you guys are fine without me.
I don't think
Just gonna-
that's true. I think that whatever your... So, I have a question for you, Izzy. Was the only reason that you became involved with the event to raise the profile of the needs of lost and wayward familiars just so that a boy would notice you?
No.
Well, that's easy enough. I can tell you something I think might be true about Sai, which is he is probably more likely to notice you when you aren't trying to be noticed. But he's not very likely to notice you at all when you're not there. So maybe if instead you threw yourself into helping the lost and wayward familiars, that would let your true motivation shine through. And if he does, for some reason, think that you're a fangirl and sees you simply doing your best for the familiars, that would disabuse him of that notion, don't you think?
I guess, but I don't know. It's all kind of ruined.
It hasn't even happened yet.
No, I not the contest. I just mean like when you find out someone doesn't like you, then you I don't know. Just kind of ruins everything.
Well, no one really likes me and nothing's ruined.
No offense, Phineas, but I'm not really trying to follow that model.
I don't know. It seems to work. I mean, speaking of things being ruined, my 8th birthday, whew. I made the
What?
mistake of asking for other children to come to my party. I mean, they
What
came.
Then
Well, they showed up.
did you know they were not going to leave?
No. So that
You
took the
go to,
fun.
like-
It took the fun out of birthdays for a while. I'll tell you.
Yeah, you go to like therapy and stuff, right?
Well, I have been, but my counselor is talking about moving across the country.
Kind of like the other guy, our old counselor, Mr. Samer.
Hmm. Who knows? You'd think they would have more fortitude dealing with teen issues. Just a few tales of cannibalism and kidnapping, and they run for the hills.
I'd be a great counselor. I mean, I can listen to,
I think that's probably true.
because it's not gossip, but you know what I mean.
Yes. Well, so, would you like to come with us to town for the shopping?
Is Sai going?
I think so.
No.
Are you sure? Might be an opportunity
Yeah.
to show that you're not just a fangirl.
Kels is going too, right?
Of course, and she's your friend.
I already made plans.
Did you, though?
I have a lot going on, Phineas.
What specific plans did you make?
That's none of your business,
That's what I thought.
Phineas.
Come to town. You should. You'll enjoy it. It'll get you out of whatever funk you're in.
I'm not in a funk. I need some time to think about all this.
Yes. Stewing and things. That always makes them better.
I feel like you're being sarcastic.
Yes. See, you're perceptive, too. A perfect counselor.
I am a cephalon. So.
Have you ever heard the name Serpentis?
No, like he was a sir?
No. Like serpent with an is on the end.
I don't know who that is.
No, it's a house. Or a club, maybe? I don't know. Used to exist, probably banned now. Who knows why?
Oh. No. Sounds cool, though.
I know, doesn't it? I'm hoping that when I
Kind of.
go through the various old musty tomes, the old yearbooks, I'll find some sort of record.
Maybe.
You could help with that. Oh,
Oh,
you might
what?
find like the ancestors of current students and find up all the shenanigans that they got up to when they were students and be able to share that with the school.
Oh, you gotta look up the current teachers. What
Oh,
were they
yes,
up to when
yes.
they were in?
Well, I'm sure they're there.
Like, if they had, I wonder if they had superlatives and stuff back then.
Or illicit romances.
I don't know if that would be in the yearbook unless it was like the dance, king and
Yes.
queen stuff or whatever.
Yes. Did I already ask you who you're going to kiss the dance?
No.
Well, apparently that's what the dance is for. I'm sort of envisioning people standing in two lines and then sort of clinically kissing each other. It seems strange.
Is there a reason you're specifically asking me?
Oh, I'm asking everyone.
Oh, okay.
I mean, not everyone. I'm asking friends.
I mean, there's a lot of options. Unfortunately, cuter guys are older years, but I don't know. I guess we'll see. It's still early.
Well, it might do with some planning.
Well, I have to think about this.
I know. It's a lot to think of.
Because, yeah, then what if you don't want to wait too long because then people will be taken. They're already taking someone to the dance.
Yes.
What did your friends say they were doing? Do you guys already have dates?
No. That boy Rith seemed very interested in kissing Kells.
Interesting.
But we're also maybe Aspen.
That makes sense.
I think Gustav is in love with at least 2 girls.
Ophelia and who?
Well, there's this girl that keeps pestering him. Or maybe it's the other way around. Maybe she likes him. This older girl who keeps massaging his energy or something. It sounds very suspicious. At first I thought she was witched and she was hexing him, but he hasn't grown any warts or turned into a toad or anything, so.
Weird.
I know. And Brigham is a jock now, so I'm sure he'll have his pick.
Yeah, and him making the underwater hockey team is, but he is on Calatog, but I think for once they actually might have an okay team.
Yes, I hear that. Oh, who would want to try to kill Kells?
Me? I'm just kidding. I mean, you guys don't have that many friends. So, probably anyone in that group that you guys fought before.
Would any of them have the ability to hijack
punch
her
down.
broom and fly it and her into a wall at 60 miles an hour, nearly killing her?
Did that happen?
Yes.
Oh, is she okay?
Well, her broom, unfortunately, was destroyed.
I mean, she did punch Lum. Well, I don't think Lum would. He's not. He's like the exception to Cephalon. Yeah, I mean, there's plenty of people that you guys fought and other bullies that you guys seem to have gotten the attention of. And then there's there's some people that maybe don't like she's trying to get rid of the potions professor. I don't know how many people she's told about it.
I don't know. It seems like not enough motivation for murder.
You said he might be a secret agent. What if he did it?
Do secret agents go around
And
killing children?
Could make it look like an accident.
Oh, it's possible.
I don't know what he's an agent of, so.
He could be an agent of the forces of evil. It's entirely possible. He's not suited to being a teacher. I wasn't convinced before, but I am now. Well, anyway, hopefully you and Kells can mend whatever your disagreement is before she's murdered. I'm sure you would feel horrible if she died thinking that you didn't like her.
She's not actually...
She's one of the only people who can see into the future and knows what's going on, the dastardly plans of our potentially ancient and powerful foe.
That is, I bet the cult after, because they know that her visions are what led to getting Calder back.
Entirely possible. Let's just say she has a lot on her mind. It might do her good. You know, sometimes the greatest gift that we can give to ourselves is to be the bigger person.
Well.
All right, so we'll see you for shopping on Saturday.
I have plans, though.
Well, too late.
You'll, stay with me, though, right?
Of course.
Won't be, standing outside the group awkwardly?
No, of course not.
Okay.
I'll even make fun of you a little. How's that?
And I can take it, but I'm going to dish it back.
That's fine.
Okay, I'll see you later, Phineas.
All right, bye.
All right, and other stuff. Did you want to, because you asked the librarian to pull yearbooks.
Oh, we can do that later.
Okay. And then, Brigham, you've been up to a lot of underwater hockey practice. Ophelia did get somebody to help with the flyers. So she got somebody named Emmy. and Emmy is in Drakenor. She's very, it's almost like graffiti art, but she kind of does it with her wand. So she made some flyers, and then they got some older kids in Creature Club to make copies and stuff. What's some other stuff you wanted to do? You wanted to leave notes for Tim.
Yes.
And potions professor. Okay, so you guys have potions again and later in the week, and he'll pull you guys aside, or he'll announce to the class. Just want to say I realized when I was asking people about Liquid Luck, I was looking through Professor Stillwell's notes. It was on one of his quizzes, but apparently it was an extra credit question, not an actual question, so you guys can have those points back.
Oh, thank you.
And those people, though, I would like you to stay after class. And you'll stay after class, and I'll say, just for the future, if you guys have an issue or something like that comes up, come to me and address it with me first so we can get it fixed, rather than another teacher.
So we should trust you.
I'm your instructor.
All right.
If you have issues, you should address them with me first before going to someone else, because I'm the most likely to be able to resolve it. You shouldn't be bothering other teachers with issues for other classes unnecessarily.
Sure.
Okay. All right, and
Yeah, he's got to go.
Let's see. Yeah. Okay.
I'm half surprised Kels wasn't just like, well, you never assign enough homework.
No, Kels is feeling that, oh no, the authority is upset with me. I must people please. Teacher's pet urge rising. So it's just all nods and yes sirs kind of thing.
Oh, actually, we'll also say during potions class, he does assign homework. So you can thank some of your classmates. Apparently they didn't feel like I was giving you guys enough work outside of class to properly develop yourselves. Feel like you guys need homework. So thank you, Miss Michaels, for bringing that up. I'm told yourself and Mr. Morimoto were asking for this, so... Cool. Nothing else. I don't think anything else was happening during the week, so we can jump to Friday.
Well, we have to actually do the duplication.
Yeah, you have
such
to
that Kels
get
can pay off the thing.
Yes.
And do we need to like go ask Miss Mesmer officially to join us, or can we just assume we did that at some point?
Oh no, you gotta ask her.
Okay, we should ask her before Friday.
You should.
Yeah.
Yes.
Since you're her favorite.
Yeah.
Ask her about cactuses to put her in the mood.
Yes.
Absolutely not. Be like, look at this cactus poem everyone's written up. Don't you think it's great? Real good poetry there. Well, I guess at some point before Friday, at some point, probably go up and talk with her then, is what I would do. Because at this point we have like, I don't know, 10 people going with us to town. The number keeps growing.
Yes.
It's definitely over what Mr. Ames asked.
Definitely need more chaperones.
I mean, you've invited several people that were not on the original group, because Professor Ames specifically asked Gustav who was coming, and then he added more people.
Yeah.
Like Ophelia, and then Phineas added Izzy.
Yeah.
The rest are coming with Miss Mesmer.
Yes. So I'll go there and knock on the door.
Okay, as you go to knock, she opens the door.
Yes, as it should be.
Of course. Kills. Everything okay?
Yeah. So I wanted to ask if you'd be able to. We need to go to town this Saturday for getting supplies for the familiar contest, and I need to go to the broom shop. So I was wondering if you could help. We asked Professor Ames to go, but at this point we have like 10 people, and I think that's a little much.
Oh, okay. In the morning, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Sure. So, what is this? Sorry,
The familiar contest, and here's the prepared flyer.
Oh, nice. Okay, so you're just getting supplies for this?
Yeah, and I need to go to the broom shop because my broom broke.
Oh, how'd your broom break?
Crashed into a wall during flying club.
Were you on it?
Yeah.
Are you okay?
Yeah, what's his name? Sorry. He's somewhere.
Harvey,
yes. Harvey managed to grab me before I crashed into the wall too.
that's good. He is pretty proficient with flying. So probably just air throw row probably is a good place to go. Okay. Yeah, that's fine. I'll put in how many people are going? You said 10?
Yeah, it's like me, Brigham, Aspen, Gustav, Phineas. You probably told me about Izzy, Ophelia. I don't remember the rest, but I'm sure
you guys were going to
okay
bring
with that.
Sai.
Yeah, he's coming.
Keldo.
And
Oh,
Calder.
2K. Yeah, Calder.
Yeah, so 10.
Oh, that's pretty lucky guess. Yeah, this number of people.
Okay, so we can split 5 and 5, especially if you need to get your broom fixed and go off from the group. That's fine. I'll put in the request.
All right, thank you.
No problem. What time on Saturday?
9.
9.
Okay, that's fine. Cool. All right, so you've enlisted Miss Mesmer. I think the only other stuff you have to do is get the notebook.
Yep.
Get the notebook, send notes to Tim, and find the other clairvoyant.
Oh yeah, you guys could do that before Friday if you want.
Yeah. Or at least put out feelers.
I mean, luckily you were nice to the person that would know the most.
Yes. Once again, Phineas's strong sense of morality and decency that no one appreciates. So
I have no. I need to talk with Finny. I have no idea how to get the notebook at all. I need to talk with Phineas about this.
do you?
Yes. What do I do?
Oh, you asked Sai for the book.
But would he just give it to me? Why would he give it to me?
Well, the whole point is to create a decoy. And we tell him that the local crime boss is very interested in obtaining his book. And that
I can't tell him that a local crime boss wants his book.
Why not? It's the truth.
He's specifically told not to.
Because the crime boss told me not to tell anybody.
Well, I will tell him.
I think that's a loophole that
Yes.
I don't think crime bosses really appreciate.
Poe, who's the biggest crime boss here on campus? Sammy. Okay, there we go. A little bird told me.
That's even more of a loophole.
Yes.
No, I don't think that's how that works.
Well, how is he going to know?
As far as I can tell, he already knows everything that happens in the school. I can get pulled down in the hallway in just a second and I'm there standing next to him.
It's all
a
those
different hallway
alcoves.
every time.
Yes.
There are so many alcoves.
They should brick some of those up. They're a hazard.
I feel like it's an aesthetic thing.
True. No, we just go to Sai and say, Sai, it's time. Make with a book. We'll make it look like it already looks like his original book. We'll make it look even more like the original book, and then you'll hand it over.
Okay.
It's pretty straightforward.
If you say so. All right, come with me.
All right.
I presume this is during some break where we'll just go find Sai somewhere.
Totally fine.
Yeah.
What's Chris?
Hey, you know that decoy book?
Yeah.
Can we have it?
Yeah, I mean, you gave it to me to hold on to, right?
Yeah. Did you put some cool stuff in it?
Kind of. I wasn't really sure what to put in there, so I just started doodling some stuff, and then I wasn't really, and then I just put some like nonsensical notes that don't even really make sense to me, to be honest.
Ooh. Are you having oracular visions as well?
No.
Are you sure?
I wish. It'd
Yeah.
be pretty cool.
Well, let's take a look.
It's a lot of doodles of like space and little like alien dudes and stuff.
Potential invasion. We should keep our eyes on that.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I think, Sai, that once this is headed over to the people who are looking for it, then the interest in your actual notebook will fade away as planned. But it's going to be very important that you don't walk around with that, or else people will see it and then they'll want that one too.
Hand it over. I thought it was a decoy just in case someone was trying to steal my normal notebook.
They are trying to now.
Who are these people?
Well, let's just say there's an element here, an organization, an informal fraternity of people in the know who can procure things and no, it's a sign. It's a symbol. Or
Oh, I like this one.
Yep. No, it's a sign. There's it's the mob.
The mob is looking for my notebook?
Of course they are.
That seems a little...
I mean, to be fair, it's like the junior mob. It's the teen mob or something. I don't know. I don't really understand it.
Oh. Okay, I thought
Apparently
you were like an actual...
They know, well, who knows?
Yeah.
Apparently they know every alcove in this place. And that's saying something. This is precisely
okay.
the threat that we were concerned about. So.
Yeah. Have at it. I'll trust you guys know what you're doing.
Awesome. Well, so as anticipated, what will probably happen, I don't know that the rumors will get out, because I don't know what the mob wants really to do with them, but the worst that can happen is that people think that you're really into astronaut stuff. And then that will keep your fascination for other things quiet until you feel comfortable revealing those things.
I also drew Drip as a dragon. That's in there. It's not all space stuff, it's just mostly space stuff. And then Drip with a astronaut helmet.
That sounds adorable.
It turned out really well. It's got a
I'm
little
trying to find that
oxygen tank.
picture.
It's got like a little
Another.
oxygen tank. It's
Oh,
good.
adorable.
Maybe in space he can actually eat nymph candy.
Probably not.
Maybe
No,
not.
you need like astronaut food stuff.
I don't know how space works.
I heard they have special ice cream.
They do have special ice cream. I actually got to go to the museum in Florida one time and they sell it at the gift shop and I needed it, but it actually tastes really bad.
Oh, it does?
Yeah, because it's like so dry and stuff, right? It's
Wait, it's
definitely
dry?
disappointing. Yeah, they like dry it up and it's like air dried, so all the food
Well,
has
that's not
less
ice
moisture.
cream. It's
It's still the particles. of
neither ice
cream.
nor cream.
Well, I guess you just got to provide those ideas in space, you know?
Hmm.
It's like in space that's close enough.
I guess you take what you can get.
It sounds
Yep.
like a scam to sell space-themed things to tourists.
It is a scam.
It
Actually.
would totally
It
work.
was
I would
very
totally
expensive.
buy it.
I definitely also bought them. Well, I mean, my dad did, but that's neither here nor there.
Well, we should order some. Oh, aren't you getting some space books, Kels?
Yeah, it's in the mail probably.
Okay, here on Friday.
Okay.
Good. Well, we'll let you know when we get the space books. And that being seen to look over the space books will further the ruse that your only fascination is with all things space related.
I could also say, like, act like I'm looking for my notebook and mention it's lost.
Oh yes, absolutely. Very smart. The mob will be fooled entirely.
Every time you mention the mob, Kels is just like, oh
Can we
no.
call them something like the TWAB or something? Because the mob sounds so. I
Accurate?
keep thinking it's an actual mob.
Well, it might be. I don't really know.
Is there an actual mob? Is there a real wizard mob?
Probably.
It's probably a few, yeah.
Yes.
Hmm.
And it's probably closely entwined with the entertainment business, if you know what I'm saying.
Are you saying I'm in the mob?
No.
Oh,
I'm just saying. All that money for movies has to come from somewhere. Someone told me how much a movie costs. It's insane.
oh.
Well, the entertainment industry is a very big one.
Mm.
Anyway, thanks.
All right.
Oh, thank you guys.
Yeah, I'll see you definitely on Saturday.
Yes.
And in class, I guess.
Yeah.
All right. It'll be fun.
All right. We scurry away with this notebook.
See, I told you it was easy.
You
just had to-
definitely told him about
Yes.
everything.
You just have to tell people the truth.
You shouldn't, like, when you're doing plots, you shouldn't tell people the truth.
Oh, I tell
Probably.
everyone the truth all the time.
You do?
Oh, yes. I tell Professor Levi everything.
I stop. You what?
Oh, yes.
What do you mean everything?
Well,
Like
everything I
about
think
your
of.
granny?
Of course.
Everything you think of.
Yes. I'm sure there are things I
Like-
haven't thought of.
Like how we're doing the creature contest and you guys want to ask all the
Yes.
the familiars. You told. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. What are you doing? Why would you tell him that? He's just going to tell you not to do the thing.
Well,
And then you're going to get in trouble.
he understands that this is kind of his fault. Or
We're
he
going to
will.
approach the group at this
Yes,
point,
we're
I think,
approaching
so
the
we
group.
can.
Yes. No, he
Phineas
understands.
has been telling Levi everything.
Yes.
Everything.
Well, everything I think of. You know how sometimes things fall out of my head. Well, because he won't let us help directly. So everything that we do to create chaos is kind of his fault. I'm trying to teach him that he should trust us and let us in, or else we're apt to do all sorts of things. Besides,
I mean,
Did you tell Professor Levi about the movie club?
yes,
Like just that it's a movie club, or like?
Oh, he understands our position with regard to those who are being downtrodden.
Okay.
And is quite, I mean, as much as he favors any idea of mine, he understands it.
But you didn't tell him that you were going to go spying on that.
On the ritual, yes.
What?
Did you tell him that you asked me to ask Professor Ames to be my mentor in order to spy on him?
I don't think so, but I know he knows that I think Professor Ames might be evil.
Wait, does he know about the potions professor?
Oh, yes. That's why the potions professor gave us our points back.
Oh, and then lectured us to talk
Yes.
to him,
Yes.
even though he was definitely. Okay.
Did you tell him about Kels's predicament with the notebook?
Please don't tell him that. Please don't mention there's a mob in the school.
I'll try not to.
Did you tell him about Prigham's cousin?
No. I don't think I knew about that last time I spoke to him. I did tell him that Brigham was being treated poorly. Well, you have to trust someone, don't you?
Yeah. I've been trusting the guidance counselor, but Professor Levi's helpful too.
Yes. I think he is a good ally for us to have, which is one of the reasons that I don't want him to be stabbed in the chest and die.
Is there a particular reason we shouldn't tell the teachers about the mob?
Hmm.
Then the mob comes after you. I'm pretty sure that's how it goes.
Yes.
Yeah, but
It's
of
also
all
how you
things
guys
we've
got
done-
things the first time.
Yeah, they definitely help. We're in this trouble because we needed stuff that gets around the teachers. In theory, this might be something we'll need again.
Yes. We should
Though
pretend
I
to
don't
become...
want to do it.
I know. I think your adventures with the mafia have played out. But one of us should pretend to be very close to the mob. Who should that be? I think Aspen makes sense because of the repute of Aspen's family. Brigham,
Yeah, I don't-
you have a full calendar with your sport thing. I don't think they trust me. This might be another situation where Gustav has to take one for the team.
Wait, I'm from a non-magical background. Is Aspen's family known to be evil?
Oh no, quite the opposite. They're very well regarded. So it wouldn't be super believable that she wanted to be part of the mob.
Right. Like how the mob gets into the movie business. Because
I wondered if that was true. So who knows? We'll workshop it later.
I mean, it's a good thing that we're not running a movie club or anything, because
I
then
know.
the mob would want to join.
I know. Oh yes, so many ideas. But anyway, we have a contest to plan, and a broom to fix, and a clairvoyant to find, and a Tim
And
to win
studying
over.
to do.
Yes, of course, because now we have to study for potions.
Because we have homework.
Yes.
Yes, we have potions homework.
Yes.
Did you tell Professor Levi about the Pegasus?
Probably not. I assume that he knows that Pegasi are unpleasant creatures.
Okay. Good.
What was it I was supposed to not tell him, though? That the fact that the Pegasus is unpleasant? Or is there something else?
Nope. There's nothing else. We would never lie to you.
Yes. You're turning bright red, by the way.
Okay.
So it's either some sort of anaphylaxis or you're lying. But that's fine. I didn't tell him that you and Izzy Kells are having difficulties.
Cool, thanks.
But I did talk to her.
You did? What'd
Yes.
you say?
I think that if you apologize for whatever, you know what I think? I think that all it takes is for someone to be the bigger person. And sometimes being the bigger person is the best gift that you can give to yourself. So regardless of who's right or who's wrong, I think that if you were to own up and apologize, everything would be fine.
I tried apologizing once and that went super poorly for me.
Did you apologize
try-
in the heat of the moment?
I thought I planned everything ahead properly, and then I got a little flustered because she did something different than what I had written out. And then it didn't go well.
Kels,
I can try, yes.
my mum and my dad, they tried apologising once and it didn't go well. And neither of them tried apologising a second time. And they're still angry with each other. And it's been years.
Yes.
I don't really know much about repairing relationships, but you don't want to stay in an argument forever.
Good advice, I think. Have you been talking with the counselors too, Gustav?
Well, no. I mean, I did ask Professor Ames for advice on relationships. He said that less spikes and more flowers.
Is this back to the cactus thing again?
No? Probably not. Yes, it is. But
Yeah,
it's
it's
good
the-
advice.
More flowers. Yeah. I'll take it into consideration.
Oh, that reminds me. Something that those of you who are interested need to add to your list. It is vitally important, apparently, that you secure a date to the fall ball. Because if you don't, Izzy assures me that the pickings will be slim.
I already said we just go as a group.
I'm
We
not
don't know
kissing any of
anybody
you.
here. Yeah.
Can somebody else pick me instead of me picking them? I feel like that would be easier.
I mean, yes, they can. But I mean, if you have someone in mind, Gustav, because you were asking for relationship advice. And I kind of assume it wasn't about your parents because it involved the cactus thing. Maybe you should
Kells,
take
never
the
bring up
initiative.
my parents and cactuses in the same sentence again.
Trigger warning.
Okay.
All right.
Wait, is kissing required at the fall ball?
Apparently so.
No, it's a thing people do. Listen, we're going to be watching a movie that has a dance because 2K and Phineas don't know what any sort of school dance is.
Yes, Carrie.
It's not Carrie.
Do mermaids kiss underwater?
Yeah. Why?
Okay.
Why wouldn't they? I mean, they got to be careful because there's a lot of teeth to be aware of, but I feel like that's true on land as well.
Just normal, regular teeth.
Yes.
I
Mermaids
didn't
totally don't have
like how
really
you
sharp-
said that, Brigham.
Definitely depends on the type of mermaid because there's a
The
few.
deep water mermaids. Oh boy, those teeth. My great uncle George. You don't want to get in his way at dinner.
Especially not if you're a sailor.
Huh.
Sailors are the primary, for mermaids.
Wait,
You know, that's actually a myth.
Really?
Like, yeah, sure, we drowns a lot of sailors, but not to eat. More for decor.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah,
And macabre.
sailors are too tough and nah, it's just
Yes. And with all the scurvy, there's probably not enough vitamin C in them.
yeah, no. So no, just usually for good decor, trying to bring something outside of the usual rocks and kelp that you see around.
Well, you could take a note from the hags and bring them down into an air bubble and then feed them a bunch of, like, fruit and candies and things and get them nice and fattened up. It works with woodcutters. I imagine it would work with sailors.
You know, I'll send a note to my Uncle George. He might enjoy that.
So, does everybody kiss? Like, everybody intelligent? Aspen, do Pegasuses kiss?
Yeah, probably. It's more of not like a human kissing another human type kiss, but like more of a lick.
Ah.
You know? Because they don't really got lips like our lips. They got horse lips. I don't know.
Aspen, have you kissed a Pegasus?
No.
Okay. I'll believe you at your word. Have you wanted to kiss a Pegasus? In a platonic way?
You always try something once, right?
No, but that's fine.
Depending on what it is, you may never try it again.
All right.
Or anything else again.
Yes. All right, but anyway, I have it on good authority that if you don't secure your date soon, it will be very difficult to have one. Which means, Gustav, you need to work on Ophelia.
We could ask the familiars whether their owners have got dates yet.
Yes. And if their owners are involved in the blood cult or any other kind of nefarious activity. But yes, that can be question number 2. Is your owner secretly evil and plotting the destruction of the world? And also, do they have a date? I like it.
These are all equally important questions.
Yes.
Definitely.
And Brigham, we decided that because you are a jock, you will have no difficulty whatsoever. You probably should just go up to whoever you fancy and say, I'm on the team. We should go to the dance together. And they will go, yes, of course.
Somehow I think that'll only work in Calatog, but that's okay.
Yeah, sure. All right. And Kel's going with Rith, so.
What?
I mean, probably. You just have to signal availability. I mean, he already said publicly he wanted to spooch you.
Yeah, I guess he did.
Yeah.
In Tomb Raider, Lara Croft shoots the movies, right? Lara Croft shoots at the person that she wants to fall in love with. You could try that with Riff. Not hit him, just like sort of wing him.
Is Lara Croft a hag?
No, she's a Tomb Raider.
Like I said, is she a hag?
No, she's just a lady.
Oh.
I don't think that's good advice, though.
Wait, does that mean, I think it was Marius who I punched in the face. Does that mean he thinks I want to go to the dance with him?
It's possible.
No, absolutely not. You don't punch people who you want to go ask out on a date. That's definitely not the case.
You
We
should
stick
punch
gum
other
in their
people
hair.
just in case.
Yes. Well, your suspension is done, isn't it? And by the way, congratulations. Your suspension is done. Oh, and because the soon-to-be ex-potions master reversed our negative points, you should have positive points now.
We could see now.
Or at least not
Yeah.
negative.
It's not negative.
So you can afford to punch at least 2 or 3 people to signal your interest in going with them to the fall ball.
Definitely.
I think though, if you're right, if you're doing that, you would have to miss them. So like you have to corner them against the wall and then punch the wall behind them, but in a way that you don't hurt your hand, because your hand would shatter, especially in bad form. I think that kind of intimidation is what I mean,
So, Kels, you're suggesting that Aspen waylay people that she's interested in going to the dance to, slam them up against a wall and punch the wall next to them, and then say, "Take me to the
Wanna
ball
go?
or else."
yeah, something, and probably not or else. Leave it as an open question.
Okay.
Is there some sort of cushioning charm that you can cast on the wall so that it doesn't hurt as much?
Maybe like a boxing glove for your hand.
We could turn the wall into banana bread. We nearly turned you into banana bread. Should be easy.
They're very similar spells.
Aspen, you've been
Kels,
practicing that
yes.
duplication charm, right?
Yeah.
So you can just pick whoever it is you want to go to the fall ball with and then duplicate them. You don't even have to ask them. You can make one.
I don't think you could duplicate people.
No, I'm pretty sure the professor said that we shouldn't use it on live targets.
Well, so shouldn't doesn't mean can't. Just saying, there are
That is
options.
true.
There are options. Well, you won't have to resort to cloning people to date them if you find yourself a legitimate date or intimidate someone into going with you. So, very well. Good.
Can we make a pact that if we can't find other dates, we go with each other?
Yes, the group thing.
Yeah.
Excellent idea.
Okay. Just that way no one's left behind. We'll all go together if we can't find dates.
As long as you look and try.
Elder
Can't
looks a little
rush these
nervous.
things. You
Elder,
can't just rush dating.
is there someone that you would especially like to go to the fall ball with? So keeping your options open, playing the field, as it were.
Are you asking me or are you asking K2?
Yeah, 2K.
2K.
2K, sorry.
All right. Do you want to go with someone? Or would you rather go by yourself? Or in a group?
Can we watch the movie first?
Yes, and we can learn how these things actually go. Yes, I think that seems wise.
Yeah.
Research first.
Which movie are we watching?
Carrie,
No, it's the movie that's the magical equivalent of Grease.
Buffy the Vampire Slayer.
So Grease.
This is such a terrible movie.
I know, right? It's probably all they
about
have in
giving
the
in to peer
library.
pressure. That's the moral of the story: is change who you are to fit it.
I know. It seems like the kind of thing that they have in the library because, you know, it's like the one classic one and it's like the only one that has school dancing in it. So, because I kind of assume none of us have anything else. We're at the mercy of the library. But it's like, you know, magical Grease. So maybe they put in a good moral.
No, probably not.
No, they didn't.
All right. All right. We'll watch the movie, do some research, and then you can choose which person you would like to go with, or you can choose to simply go in a group. I think we can go in a group. I'm not going with anyone. So I think we should go in a group, but in addition to finding people to smooch, because it's apparently very important. Why make that face, Kels? You have a lot.
I have regrets about saying that that's what dances were about. That's all.
Well, it's been confirmed.
I mean, there can be smooching in them, but it's mostly about dancing and hanging out with people and drinking punch and stuff. Because they're snacks.
Yes, we'll see. All right. So. Oh, and we have the book. The fake book. The duplicate. So Kels is not going to sleep with the fishes.
You say that like it's a bad thing.
No, it's an euphemism for dying, being murdered by the mob.
If we knew spells to erase or perhaps write, then we could improve it on the book to make it look better.
Well, look, there's a drawing of what's his face? The
Grip.
Wow.
Drip, with a thing on his head.
I didn't realize he was such a good artist.
I know.
That's unfair.
Yeah. Some people get all the talents. But, as it were, I don't know if there's anything we could add without making it not look like his drawing or handwriting.
That's true. Well, so I think mission accomplished, right?
Yeah, I just need to hand it off.
Oh,
Just find an alcove and hide there for a while.
Yes.
Mm.
They'll eventually come and find you. I think you should march straight up to him and give it to him. And tell him, I mean, not publicly, but just go in early and say, here it is. And don't be disrespectful and don't ask for anything else. And don't agree to, like, don't do one of these, do me a favor now and I'll do an unspecified favor in the future, because those never work out right.
Yeah.
Unless you want to be a member of the mob.
No, I don't think so. It's too stressful for me. I got enough going on.
You should ask him to join our familiar contest.
what? Sammy?
Yeah, imagine what his familiar could talk about.
I mean, if he wanted to join, the posters are up.
Well, maybe he would appreciate a personal invitation.
Well, maybe we just tuck one into the notebook.
Sure.
Do we have prizes for the contest?
No, that's what we have to buy in town.
I think some of it is Sai is signing some things.
Yes.
But we probably also need to get, like, participation candy or something.
Trophies,
Also
ribbons.
treats.
Yes.
Yes,
Treats for the familiars.
So we need to book 2 rooms. One where Aspen can talk to the familiars, and then another so that we can talk to the humans separately, so that they don't suspect. Maybe.
Yes. Simultaneous interviews.
We can ask the humans to do something hard, like handstands.
Yes. We should ask them what their platform is and not tell them what a platform is. So we'll just watch them squirm. Or they might reveal themselves. Restore the blood cult to glory. Oops, did I say that out loud? And then we know that we captured our miscreant. Anything could happen.
Is there like a truth potion?
Probably.
If there is, it's probably expensive.
Okay.
If only we had a source of funding for this club.
I mean, technically we do, because the Creature Club's behind it now. So I'm sure they have a little budget to spare for, like, some of the prizes and stuff like that.
Fairly sure a truth potion wouldn't be under the purview of that, though.
No, I don't think so. Also, you could probably assume that some people can also talk to their familiars. So be cool with your questions.
I talk to Maggie all the time. She doesn't really talk back, but
Yep. But Aspen can understand them. Does your sister understand them too, Aspen?
Does my sister understand them?
She's your sister.
I'd say yes.
Could be a family thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, like, her sister can talk to her familiar. I presume some other people can talk to their familiars, like, in a conversational way. So maybe don't be don't be so aggressive with your question asking that they'll comment on it.
Yes.
Maybe we
Aspen's
should.
entire family could be in the mob if they could talk to familiars.
Don't be as aggressive with the familiars as you will be with the people that you want to go to the dance with.
Duly
No
noted.
punching the familiars.
Yes, or
I
threatening to
would
punch the
never.
familiars. Very
I
well.
would never.
Excellent.
Only if they were like giant, big werewolves.
Mm.
But I don't think anyone has like a massive familiar. And if they do, I want to meet them.
And we'll have to keep our eyes on who has a lizard familiar and a cat familiar. Because of the vision.
I'm still pretty sure those are teachers, right?
Maybe.
Doesn't Kells have a cat familiar?
I do. But she isn't covered in spots.
Mm.
Does the cat in the vision, the spots, they're yellow, right? A bit like a charm to turn you into a banana?
She didn't roll high enough to add color.
Yeah, it's just one color because I only had one pen.
Yeah.
Or time enough to only use one pen. So you'll just have to use your imagination.
I'm sure more will be revealed.
I don't know. The visions have been kind of light recently. I was expecting more test answers, to be honest. That would have really saved my bacon earlier.
Saved it for the luck potion.
Yeah.
Right. But the tests got taken back. The potions teacher
I know,
gave
but
points back.
there's other teachers and other tests.
Do you think that the visions knew that the potions teacher would back down?
Maybe it was a hint that I was supposed to realize sooner. Oh, these visions. Usually, though, a lot of times they end up not actually helpful because I didn't understand what they meant until later. It happens a lot. The most helpful ones were the ones where I actually got like a license plate number or something for my dad's stuff. That was convenient.
Well, we should definitely find the other Oracle on campus. Maybe they have tips and tricks they can share with you.
Oh yeah, Brigham, we were going to mention that to you because he's apparently in your house. He's like a fourth year. And he sees time, like what could happen in the near future and all possibilities at once.
Brigham,
Sounds exhausting. Yes.
if you go into the fourth year's rooms and say, I know you're a seer, then he might come out and stop you before you get to the door.
I think everyone might know. Well, I think everyone thinks he's a little bit odd, right? Like, I think
It's
it's hard
very
to have,
obvious this guy is a seer.
yeah.
So if I ask around the house, it should be pretty easy to find him.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can ask around.
Cool,
Wonderful.
thanks. It'd just be a little weird, I think, for all of us first years to like find him out and about, but at least he'd be in your house area.
Well, if he doesn't want to be
Yeah,
found, he
what
probably
am
won't
I-
be.
True. Is there anything specific I'm supposed to ask him?
Just if he'd be willing to have a word with Kels about visions in general and share any findings he might have. You know, to
We're
help
interested in this stuff with Professor Levi or something, right?
Yes.
If he's nice, you could invite him to movie club.
Mm.
Fourth
It
year.
was mostly, yeah, first years.
I mean, he might
Yeah,
already
first
know the
year doesn't
endings.
Mm.
Let me meet the guy first, and then we'll go from there.
All right. Well, good. We've accomplished so much. Everyone's going to get dates. And Brigham's going to find our other oracle. And we have a plan for simultaneous interrogation of the contestants. Now we need to shopping. And Kels is now out from under the thumb of the mafia. Or will be soon.
Well,
So
Do we need to talk to Aspen's sister about making sure we have got 2 rooms? It seems like Aspen's sister's the one who's doing the organizing.
Yeah, she kind of took over. As soon as it became sponsored by Creature Club, she started basically saying what's going to happen.
If Aspen's sister can talk to animals, and she's going to insist on being in the room when Aspen talks to the familiars, then she'll know what questions was being asked.
Well,
That's a problem for Aspen.
yeah,
Good rooms, Aspen. You can do it.
it'll be fine. Or maybe it'll just be a lovely contest. Who knows?
It'll just be a battle of wits. If I
Yes.
can outsmart my sister in asking questions and getting reliable information for you.
Yes. Well, I mean, the whole point is to create some mischief. Either way, I'm sure we'll be successful.
Kels, why don't you hand over that diary to the mob now? My mum says it's better to do things early. Well, my dad says that my mum's advice is terrible, but you
Yes.
decide.
Take care of it now. I can go do that. You probably shouldn't trust what your parents say about one another. I'm just guessing. But at any rate, yeah, let me go. I'll just go find an alcove. Be right back.
Cool. So you go to alcove. You see one of Sammy's guys, not Sammy himself. He nods at you.
And I nod at him and then say, I got something for your boss.
What you got? I assume it's the notebook.
Yeah,
I
I'll
would
show
hope
it.
it is.
I'll show it to him.
This is the notebook, right?
Yeah,
Silent Gantier's notebook, personal notebook.
yeah.
Okay, give me a charm roll, difficulty 8.
Rip me.
Don't you have a D10?
It's a D6. She's
Oh.
awkward for a reason.
You have
Okay.
80.
Yeah, you probably have.
I have a few. What do you say the difficulty was?
8.
8. Cool. I'll use just all of those adversity tokens I have, and it now. Oh, wait, no, I keep one because I do have a +1 in charm
We also have
because I'm an
7
adorable
minor boons.
child. We can save those for later
Okay.
when there's more problems. Yes, an 8 exactly.
Cool. Sick. All right, good work. I'll hand it over. Was there something else?
And so we're good then, right?
Yeah, I mean, I assume if this is the book and it's what he was looking for.
Okay. This is where I go, what's a sense motive roll?
Uh,
Because
Brain.
before usually I've been taken to him is the thing.
right.
18.
Well, what day is it that you're doing this?
I don't know. What is this? Wednesday?
Oh, okay. So it's literally that. Okay.
I
What
think it
time
would
of
be
day?
the same. I don't know. What time would we have asked him? Either at lunch or dinner. So
Probably later in the day because
Yeah.
you needed
Yeah.
time to get all the stuff from side and everything.
Yeah.
So dinner
So
time.
later in the day.
He seems like he's just. Yeah, I'm gonna take it to the boss.
Yeah. Okay. Well, then I'll say, cool, thanks, and I will leave quickly.
And it is smart because, what if he was just like, "Cool, got this book now." I'm
Yeah,
gonna work for him.
Yeah, I just want to be like, well, okay, this is not how it usually has gone. I'm sure
Yeah.
he'll be back to accuse me of things later. But at any rate, taken care of quickly. And then
What kind of notes are you leaving for Tim, Phineas, and where or how?
In a creepy fashion, of course.
Naturally.
using Poe to deliver them because he can squeeze into tight spots. So like if he like when he picks up his dinner plate off the tray, there'll be a little note. Or like when he gets back from whatever practice, like it'll be in a shoe. So it sounds creepy. I mean, not creepy like stalkery creepy, but creepy like eerie. And it's just like, we like you. And it's okay that you're angry.
Is
we
this
still-
like
we still
clearly
like
from
you.
Phineas, or is he just like looking in his shoe and there's a note that says, "We like you"? Okay.
We think you're pretty cool. And then probably by the 5th or 6th one, he realizes, oh, I should probably sign these. So of course there's this beautiful flowing script, Phineas.
Okay.
And then there's probably a few longer ones that are like, some of us understand what it's like to feel like you're outside everything. And it can be lonely and upsetting, but that's fine because there are people and places where we can feel accepted.
Cool. Is that everything that you guys needed to do?
First day lunch, I would like to sit down next to Ophelia,
Okay.
and then I will slam my fist upon the table.
She probably is startled by that.
Ophelia, you are like a cactus flower. You can take on any power. You are not spiky at all. Will you go with me to the ball?
Aww.
Are you feeling okay, Gustav?
Oh no.
Zero prep.
I run away.
Oh no. Oh no.
All right. Yeah.
I guess I could go try to find the Oracle dude.
Yeah. Okay.
Trying to think of how to even start this. I guess, is there like a 4th-year row of dorms?
Yeah, there's like a section for where the 4th-year rooms are.
Okay. I guess I'll just go knock on one of the first doors I see.
You're just gonna knock on a random 4th-year door? Okay.
Yeah, that's the plan.
At least you're in Calatog. All right, so you knock on the door, and a pretty big dude opens the door. Yeah?
Hi. I'm looking for an Oracle who's supposed to be a 4th-year. Would you happen to know who it is?
In Calatog?
Mm-hmm.
Why are you looking for him?
I have a friend who's an Oracle, and they just want to chat and kind of compare notes and learn from experience,
Oh, okay. Yeah, his name's Oren. He's a little hard to talk to sometimes, but if you go a few doors down, I'll just walk you over, and he'll go out and kind of point at the door once you guys get close enough. He's in there.
Thank you. I appreciate your help.
No problem. Better win us underwater hockey, man.
Hey, I'm gonna do my best. Woo, Calatog! Yeah. Yeah, I'm gonna knock on Oren's door.
Naturally, before you knock on the door, he opens the door. Hey, Brigham.
Oren, how are you doing today?
Oh,
I have a friend. You're okay?
Yeah. I mean,
Cool.
so long as this is the one where I don't get food poisoning. I think I'm good.
I hope you don't. That sounds rough. I have a friend who's an oracle, and she would like to talk to you.
Oh, does she have it like what is her oracle thing like? Like, is she always seeing the future like constantly? And
No, she sees it more sporadically, and she'll kind of just draw it and gets visions that way, and then has to try to interpret them.
oh, okay, yeah, drawing. Uh, not really what I have. Mine's kind of
Yeah,
very different. But all oracles are kind of different, it would seem.
fair, but she just really would like to talk to somebody who's got experience. She's
Can you take a step
wrestling.
like to the left?
Oh, sure. Hop to the left.
Oh, thanks.
Everything okay now?
Yeah, that's fine.
Oh, okay, cool. Yeah, her name is Kels. She's in Cephalon. First year, just trying to get a hang of things and would like to talk to somebody who's had a little bit more experience.
Oh, has she talked to Miss Mesmer?
Oh, yeah, of course. It just wants to hear from other oracles and get different viewpoints, you know?
Oh, yeah.
Plus, it's sometimes easier to talk to another student than it is to talk to a teacher.
Yes. Sorry, I got distracted. Talking to students, yes.
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 So, would you be available to potentially talk to her?
I mean, it really depends on this food poisoning thing, to be honest.
Do you
Maybe.
think you'll be able to avoid it?
Possibly. I mean, I think I did, but it's hard to always know. Future's weird. Like, I can see different things happening, but since it's constantly changing, it can be kind of hard to keep track of. I take something for it, but it's still it's a lot to keep track of.
That sounds like a lot. But is it this weekend that we're doing the familiar contest or next weekend?
Next.
Next. Okay, so we're doing a familiar contest, a talent show and costume show, if you're interested in joining. And so she'll be there, and I'll be there, and a whole bunch of other people would be there, and might be a good chance to just chat.
Oh, I don't go around familiars. Too many bad possibilities.
You know, that's fair. Okay. Today's Wednesday, Thursday,
Whichever day. It's fine.
whichever day. We have a movie night that we do. We're gonna watch a movie about a dance this Friday. Some of my friends don't know what dances are, so we're gonna try to educate. It should be interesting. Would you like to come to movie night?
No offense, but movies always get ruined for me. I also have a really hard time paying attention.
Yeah, that also makes sense. Okay. I feel like as an oracle, you would know when the best time to chat would be.
I mean, there's lots of times. Honestly. I mean, tomorrow's fine. At breakfast.
Tomorrow at breakfast. Perfect. I like it. Let's do it. All right. Thank you, Oren. Appreciate it.
Yep.
That was surprisingly complicated. And at the same time, surprisingly easy. Okay, I guess I'll go find Kells and let her know. Kells, I found the Oracle.
Oh, cool.
He's really nice. His name's Orin. He's available to chat tomorrow at breakfast.
All right, sounds good. I'll make sure to find him around then.
Yep, I wish you luck.
Thanks.
Cool. So breakfast the next morning, you'll probably find him getting food, and you'll see him constantly pick something and then put it back, and then pick something else, and then it seems like he's very indecisive as to what he's wanting to pick.
Cool. I'll wait until he's grabbed his food and then walk over. Hello. You're Orin, right?
Yes, and you are Kels.
Yeah. So I wanted to talk more about like Oracle stuff.
Yeah, and you see he kind of like shifts as you're talking because he wants to be on a certain side of you for some reason.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. He's like, yeah, how bad is it?
I mean, it's not that bad. It's pretty sporadic, and I don't ever really remember anything. So I just get writing or drawing when it happens. It's been a little less since I've been at school, actually, but there's still been a few times it happens during class, and I do it on my homework. And I have to rewrite my homework. But overall, not too bad.
Right. So it's not like super disruptive to where you can't like do anything. Just sometimes.
Just
Like how often? Is it like multiple times in class? Or is it like
I'd probably say maybe once per class. Sometimes more in a day. Sometimes it's a bit chatty, but they're usually shorter then.
that makes sense? Could depend on your diet too.
Really?
For me it's sugar.
Huh. Like too much or not enough?
Too much sugar.
Too much. That sucks.
Yeah.
Do you see? So I know Brigham was mentioning that you see a lot of futures at once.
It's hard to describe. But before I couldn't function because I was seeing it. It was like overload.
Yeah.
So I take something to kind of dim it down, and then I also take something else that kind of helps my mind process it better.
Oh, that's
And
neat.
if I stopped taking it, it would be very bad.
Yeah. Yep. Well, that sounds kind of annoying, but at least you got those things.
Yeah. It's sometimes it just this mesmer will always tell you to live in the now and not always to worry about the future because it's constantly changing, but it's really hard to do that in practice when you can see certain things that are going to happen. I understand what she's doing. There's sometimes I don't even eat breakfast in the morning because I spent so long trying to figure out what to pick. But
It'd be convenient if you just decide to eat the same thing every day and just roll with it. But then they change the menu.
yeah, I mean, there's some constants, but yeah, for the most part.
Yeah, she said something about not worrying about the future and not to worry about what I'm drawing or whatever. But then it's like, what's the point? Very annoying.
He suddenly grabs you by the shoulders and like moves you to the side as someone's wayward familiar has someone's breakfast that's dripping everywhere, goes and flies past you.
Oh, cool, thanks.
Those come in handy sometimes.
Yeah, usually my warnings are a little late because I was writing it and then I read it and I get hit in the head with a ball. So that's fine. At least it's trying.
Yeah. It's really annoying when you're in class and you see all the different ways the professor's going to give the lesson. It's like going to class 4 times.
Oh no. Well, or is it bonus lessons? So you can, unless they teach it badly in some of them.
Yeah, that could be confusing.
Do you see stuff about teachers a lot?
Sometimes. It's really only when it's around me. Like, stuff that's directly with me.
Is it like always close in time to you, or is it farther in time? Like, how far out does it go?
It's pretty close in time.
Like minutes?
Depends. It could be minutes, hours, typically not more than that. It used to be worse, but then because I take the stuff, it helps it so I'm not getting everything all at once.
Yeah, Miss Mesmer was saying, like, usually if you take something to make it be less, it leads to problems. I presume that's the worsening problems if you stop taking it, right?
If I were to stop taking it, I would probably go catatonic.
That would suck.
But if I didn't take it in the first place,
You're
I'm kind of an exception to the rule. I already would have been. Yeah.
Huh.
Couldn't really function, so.
Well, this has been very helpful and enlightening. Would it be okay if we met up every now and then just to chat? It'd be nice.
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay. Maybe, I don't know, every week seems like a bit, maybe monthly breakfast or so?
Sure.
Cool. Well, thank you very much.
No problem.
And then I presume we have finished eating or whatever at this point. I'll excuse
Go
myself.
out that door, not that door.
Oh, right. Okay. I will do so.
The camera cuts to Rith looking jealously at Kells talking to some other upperclassmen.
I keep having interactions with 4th years.
Cool. Let's see. All right, what else do you guys need to do before Friday? I mean, you guys have done the thing that needed to get done on Friday.
Yeah.
Tells you get your NASA books.
Cool.
Brigham, you've mainly avoided a lot of bullying because Casey always walks you to practice. And then Mr. Den has made himself very present at practices. But you do get approached by Rex one day when you're kind of walking back to the Calatog room by yourself. He's like, "Hey, Brigham, wait up."
Hey, Rex. How's
Hey.
it going?
It's good. I just wanted to apologize. I swore you were in Lupercal, and I should have checked all of the sheets. I'm glad you figured it out. I mean, I guess it kind of makes sense here in Calatog. I don't know. You seemed like a Lupercal.
Ah, okay. It happens. It's all good. You made your team, right?
Oh yeah,
Yeah, how's practice going? You enjoying it so far?
yeah. It's good. We got a strong team this year for sure.
Nice.
You guys aren't looking too bad yourselves, actually.
I think we're doing pretty good. I'm enjoying it. This is first time playing underwater hockey, and I'm learning a lot.
Yeah, that's a big accomplishment. Honestly, I was not expecting. I don't think anybody else made the underwater hockey team that hadn't been playing underwater hockey. So, I think maybe a couple in Cephalon, but it seems like the only kids that play underwater hockey in Cephalon are the kids that just want extracurriculars on their record or whatever.
That sounds like Cephalon.
Yeah. So, if you want, make it up to you. My friends and I are going to go to. And he kind of looks around for a second. It's like, you can keep a secret, right?
Yeah, I'm good with secrets.
Okay, well, we got the secret spot. It's like this. It's a super cool swim spot that we'll go to every now and again. If you want to come with us tonight, you're more than welcome. You just have to keep it a secret and be cool about it.
Tonight. It's Friday now?
Yeah.
I'm afraid I already have plans for tonight, but maybe next time.
All right. Well, we can't do Saturday night.
I could do Saturday night.
No, it's the full moon. We're not allowed. I
Uh,
mean, we're really not allowed normally, but especially during the full moon, it's just not a good idea.
Makes sense. Wait, well, just maybe next time. No worries. But I appreciate the offer.
Yeah, we'll see.
All right. Well, take care and good luck in the games.
Yep. Catch you later.
I need to talk to somebody. Phineas!
Brigham, yes.
Phineas.
Yes.
Okay. You're good with secret things.
Sure.
He tells everybody everything.
I know, but that just means he knows everything. Okay, Phineas. So here's the deal. You know I mentioned my cousin Rex, right?
Yes.
Right. Okay, so he just came up to me and wanted to apologize for the whole underwater hockey not seeing my name on the board thing. He thought I was a looper soul for some reason. But anyway, he invited me to go with his friends to a secret swimming spot.
His friends, the bullies.
Yeah. I'm actually not for sure if he's friends with bullies.
Well, wasn't he hanging out with his friends when they were bullying you?
No, he wasn't there for when he got
Okay.
stopped.
Nah, I think his friends are just the other members of the... Shoot, which house?
It was a few Drakenors, yeah, from the
Drakenor.
underwater hockey team.
Yeah, he's Drakenor members underwater hockey team.
Mm.
I'm like on the one hand, kind of cool, but on the other hand, I'm like, I'm gonna get moited, and I don't want to get moited.
I was going to ask you what your instincts tell you, but you have already told me. Now the question is, do you want to potentially teach them a lesson?
And see, this is why I came to you. You know all the right things to do.
Because
Okay, so-
if it is in fact a ruse, then perhaps they might be unsuspecting.
Yeah. I mean, if it's on the up and up, that'd be kind of cool. I could get some tips from Drakenors, and they're supposed to be really good with underwater hockey, but then why would they be sharing that information with me? It just sounds so suspicious.
Yes.
So I don't think I should go. They want to do something tonight.
Oh, definitely not.
Yeah, tonight's movie night. I can't miss movie night.
So we should make a plan. Not today, not and after the contest, because we'll all be, elbow deep in preparations between now and next weekend. But we should make a plan
Okay.
and
And
be prepared, and then you can let Max know that you would love to hang out with his completely unsuspicious friends in the faraway place that no one knows about that's probably isolated. Because of course that's exactly what someone who is a target would do. It's what we like to call the secondary location. The one you never come back from. So, and they'll be expecting you to be all alone and unsuspecting and on your own, and guess what? You won't be.
yeah, gonna have my friends at my back, and that's gonna be awesome.
What do trolls like to eat other than people?
I don't know. I don't think we've covered that yet in our magic
Something
history class.
tells me that there's a very particular type of, I can't remember, something. There's something that they find very enticing. I don't know. But we should find out. We should find out more about this location and hatch a plan. That if their offer is on the up and up, no one will know anything. And if they attempt in any way to harm or embarrass you, we can ensure it's a night that they will never forget.
Can we send Poe to spy on them tonight?
Yes, that's an excellent idea.
Then we can learn where it is and maybe hear more about what they have been planning.
Yes.
Cool. Okay, I feel much better after talking to you, Phineas. Thank you.
Yes, excellent. And Phineas does not want to murder anyone.
Uh-huh.
Not quite. But attracting a troll to their hideout. That's not murder. That's an an unfortunate happenstance.
An accessory to murder.
Well,
Yep.
Phineas feels a certain way about bullies. All right.
Before movie night starts, can Aspen find Emmy to talk with Emmy?
Yeah.
Because she's Drakenor, too, so it wouldn't be that hard.
Yep.
So Aspen would walk over to her if she's out in the open, or probably just knock on ribs until she finds Emmy's room.
You're gonna just knock on random first year rooms until you find Emmy's room?
No. I don't know. Probably. It's probably
Okay.
fine.
All right, so you knock on the first door. Someone answers, and they're like, "Hey,
Hey, you know where Emmy is?
why would she be in my room?"
I'm trying to find her room. I don't know which room her room is. I don't know. I just picked a random door and knocked on it.
And he shuts the door. You kind of hear her mumbling. He's like, "What the hell?" You go for another door?
Yeah.
All right, so you knock on another door. They open. Like, yeah?
You know where Emmy's door is?
Emmy who?
Uh, you know, Amelia Emmon.
Why would I know?
I don't know.
Why'd you knock on my door?
Because I don't know where her door is.
Why would I know where her door is? I don't know you. I don't know her.
You make a good point. Thank you.
And he kind of like looks outside the room to see if this is a weird prank or something. And it's like, okay. All right, do you go for the next door?
Would I know where the prefect's door is?
Yeah.
I'll try that one.
If he's in there, what time are you doing this at? 'Cause he's probably out flying. Practicing.
A normal time. That's before movie night. I don't know.
Okay, he's probably not in his room.
Oh dear. Would I know where Tobias is?
Yeah.
Can I ask Tobias?
You can. All right, so you knock on his door.
Hey, Tobias.
Hey, Aspen.
You know where Emmy is?
Emmy? Not in here.
Do you know where her room is?
Her room? Yeah, it's the one with all the graffiti on it.
Oh, that would make sense. Thank you.
Yeah.
Aspen will walk over to the door with the graffiti and knock on it, trying to knock in a space that doesn't touch any of the graffiti to be respectful of the art.
Okay. There's. That's fine. We'll have her there. All right. She opens the door. She's like, "Oh, hey, Aspen, right?"
Yeah. I just wanted to say thank you for helping out with the posters. I heard that you helped to design them with Ophelia.
Oh yeah. Figured I'd lend my talents to make it look super cool.
Yeah, it definitely looks super cool. I like it. I was wondering, are you free tonight?
Yeah, I guess. I mean, I could be.
So my group of friends, Kells, Brigham, Gustav, Phineas.
I'm aware of your group of friends. Everyone knows your group of friends.
Yeah. So we're having a movie night thing. It's kind of thing we do. We have like a movie club with other first years. Just wondering if you wanted to join us.
Oh, cool. Sure. Check it out.
Cool.
When and where?
I provide those details
Yeah,
because
that's fine.
there doesn't know.
Cool.
Cool. See you there then.
Yeah.
Bye. And then Aspen will walk away.
As you walk away, you hear an explosion in the boys' bathroom. And then you see Jet and his friends walking out laughing.
Do y'all have some explosive diarrhea in there or something?
What was that?
I said, did y'all have some explosive diarrhea, or are you just hard of hearing?
Oh, you're interested in what we were doing in the back. Why don't you go look? And one of them casts a spell to open the door, and another one casts a spell to knock you into the bathroom. So you are now in the boys' bathroom.
Man, it smells worse than the Pegasus stall in here.
JJ comes out of one of the stalls that looks very broken and messed up, and like his hair is kind of all messed up and whatever. And he's like, Aspen, what are you doing in the boys' bathroom?
Jet and his friends pushed me in here after they walked out because they had some explosive diarrhea, and they were laughing about it.
He tosses a ball to you. He's like, it was a frag bag. Good one, though.
Yeah.
You should
Sorry.
probably get out of the boys' bathroom.
Yeah. Thank you. Try the door.
You try the door, and it is stuck.
Of course. Is there a window?
Not one you can fit through.
Can I try to kick the door open?
You certainly can. Let's do brawn. Difficulty 12.
Dear Lord. Oh, thank you.
You have a D4?
No, I said, oh, dear Lord.
Oh, okay.
So I got a lucky break.
Okay.
Then the next one was 1, so it's a 7.
We have plenty of minor boons.
If you at least want to make it so you don't miss by 5.
You said a 12, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll use a minor boon to bump it up to an 8. So then that's only a miss by 4.
Okay. So you kick the door and it doesn't budge. JJ is just like, assholes. And he'll take out his wand and he'll attempt to do the opening charm that you guys learned on the door. So, let's see. We'll say it's prawn again. Okay. So we'll say he struggles to do it the first time. He's like, Aspen, help me with the opening charm.
Sure.
Okay. So now you'll both do it. So if we'll say with both of you doing it, you're able to get the door open. I assume you walk out of the bathroom.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
JJ stays in there to clean up a little bit first.
Aspen will peek her head in again. It's like, wait, is JJ already in movie club?
Yes.
Do you want me to talk about this at movie club, or do we just keep this between us?
Not this specifically. I'll bring it up in movie club. It's fine.
Cool. I just wanted to make sure.
You should really stop looking in the boys' bathroom.
Duly noted. And she'll close the door and walk away. Make sure that it doesn't stick again.
Yeah, you come out and you see people looking at you a little weird.
You know, all these like human signs, the male versus the female, it looks a little weird compared to like the sanctuary. We just got like basically sitting down, standing up, and mix of both worlds type deal. Because sometimes the creatures like to come into the buildings too and use the facilities. It's normal. This is a normal thing that people do. We're all human. Most of us. I don't know. Some of the older years are probably animals too. Look, you hate me, I hate you. We're just one big family here, Bye.
People start whispering to each other. Tobias is just cool. So that happened. Yeah, you guys doing anything else? Casey probably drags Brigham, or goes to ask Brigham to practice underwater hockey because he doesn't know how to stop. So, Brigham, you coming to practice?
Yeah, of course.
Brigham, you are coming to movie night.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Wait, we're practice tonight? I thought
No, well, not an official practice, but like us practicing.
Oh god, I'm torn. time?
But like all night.
Oh, okay.
You want to be a starter, right?
Yes.
And we never see Brigham again.
It's just I already had plans with friends, a standing Friday night commitment, but if you're going to be practicing all night, then I can come afterwards.
Well, practicing by myself isn't going to help.
Wait, it's only you? I feel less bad now. I will join you after movie night. Would you like to come to movie night and then we'll go together?
We have to movies. No, we have to practice so we can actually beat those jerk Drakenors.
We've been practicing.
You have to practice more. You don't practice till you get it right. You practice until you can't get it wrong.
Well, you don't have the rest of the team, so it's hard to practice without them, too.
I'm sure I could maybe scrounge a couple people up. Besides, we can work on other stuff like endurance and stamina for swimming.
Cool. I am happy to do so after my current commitment.
Fine. Don't put the team first.
I put the team first when it's official practices, and I will be happy to practice more with you later, but I promised my friends.
Official practice isn't enough, man. We ride the bench. We don't get enough time in the water.
It's never enough time in the water for me personally, but still, I promised my friends I will be happy to join you after moving.
Fine.
Thank you, Casey.
Whatever.
I'll see you later. Do you want me to meet you at the pool?
I guess.
Okay. I will see you later.
So, let's see. What else? I think you guys have done everything now except for movie club itself and maybe giving Sai the NASA books.
Yeah, I'd be giving Sai the NASA books.
Yeah, we could just say you.
Yeah, probably right away because I knew he wasn't going to pay attention in class anyway, so.
Yeah, he's definitely reading them in class.
Yeah.
You should drop them one by one in front of him as a trail of breadcrumbs.
I will say the potions professor in the future does still seem like Izzy could be talking someone's ear off and she's not losing any house points, but if you guys so much as go off and talk about anything else, like the familiar contest, anything, like he's taking house points. Okay. All right, so you guys doing movie night?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool. Gustav, as you're getting ready, you almost have. Well, let me see real quick. Okay. So Mac goes and kind of like stands in your way as you're going to leave, and then the dude standing out your door kind of like clears his throat, and he looks at him and he looks at you. He's like, not always going to be under their protection there, Gussie. Enjoy it while it lasts. And he gives you a nice pat on the shoulder.
I stare him down as he leaves.
He's not really looking at you. He's
10,000 doormen behind me. And then to movie club.
Cool. So you guys got a lot of people at movie club. Because it's like, it's all of you guys. Izzy doesn't show up tonight. But JJ, now Emmy, Ophelia, of course. That Malachi shows up again.
Kels,
Yes.
you should go get Izzy.
Mateo.
I don't think that's going to go well.
I think it will go well if you apologize and be the bigger person.
I don't know.
Izzy wants to feel valued.
You could tell her something interesting, that she likes that sort of thing. Like, for instance, I heard that all of House Dragonor has explosive diarrhea.
I heard that too.
Yeah, that one has been going around. The rumor, that is, not the explosive diarrhea.
There's also a rumor of Aspen going into the boys' bathrooms.
Yeah, there would be.
Some speculation of she was doing stuff with JJ in there.
Look, when you've got to go, you've got to go. Diarrhea is no laughing matter.
I mean, but part of the problem is, not telling her juicy details is what got me into trouble in the first place.
Hmm.
I don't know. Maybe it's not a big deal.
Kels, when we were at summer camp together,
Yeah.
you were my friend. You were basically the only person who was my friend. And I really valued that relationship. And I know that your friendship is really valuable. And I know that Izzy really values it. And I don't want her to feel hurt forever. I want her to be happy. I want you to be happy. Please.
Okay, I'll go and apologize. Once I set up the movie, or I guess you can decide. I looked around and there's a couple other options besides whatever magical grease is.
Yeah.
And you all can pick out which one is the better representation of dancing, because I'm actually not very familiar with them.
Great. Carrie it is. Yeah,
That
no,
was
off,
not in
off
the
you go.
that's not in the list.
Off you go.
Did they have magical grease too? Because that one's so much better than Grease 1.
An entire argument ensues about why it's not better.
There we go.
That will keep everyone busy. So I go back up to the common room and I knock on Izzy's door.
She is not there.
Oh, okay. Well, this is what do cool people do on Friday nights, I think to myself. Do I have an idea of where she might be?
Probably not.
Yeah. Well, I'll check where I would go, which I guess is the library.
No.
No, she's not there. Who would have foreseen?
Piano's
Person.
going, but that's so one person's in there, but that's it.
Yeah, I'm not going up to the piano anymore. Well, she's not here. Well, that's an easy enough pass for me. So I will then return to the room and report back. Like she wasn't in her room. I couldn't find her.
Did you ask around? Because Izzy has her ear to the ground, so if she knows that you're asking people about her, then she'll know you tried.
I didn't ask anybody.
Oh.
It's what you want me to knock on random people's doors in my common room and ask them if they seen Izzy?
Or you can leave lots of notes all over the place for them.
That's a little bit like a stalker, isn't it?
Maybe, I don't know.
It kind of is. I'll ask around tonight. Maybe she'll be around later. What movie did you decide on?
Oh, Grease, and then the other Grease. One of the other.
Yes, we
Double
couldn't decide,
feature.
so we're doing a double feature.
Oh, so then we can have a debate about why Grease 2 is very bad.
Excuse you, Grease 2 is the better one of these two.
Oh, is it just because of the music? Because I don't think the music is that much. And then
Which was the one that had the animals in it?
none
Grease
of them?
3.
Grease 3? They don't have Grease 3.
Magical Grease 3.
Yes, all of them. Magical Grease too. Obviously, good titles.
Woo, double feature.
Cool. So it's gonna be a long night of movies.
Yes.
Watching two. All right, you guys wrap up. Calder will probably. He's not gonna ask Phineas because Phineas gives really confusing answers every time he asks a question. Like he's like, "Why is this like this in the movie?" And Phineas is like, "Well, the whole film industry is." It confuses the hell out of him. So he'll probably nudge Kels and be like, "Is there this much singing at every dance?"
Oh no, the singing is because it is a movie. It's a type of movie, like a musical, where people explain things via song instead of just talking. We don't do that in real life.
Yes, in my experience,
does that.
there's a lot more chanting than there is singing.
I guess technically true. But usually not to express your feelings, which is what the lyrics of the song do.
Are you guys gonna have a meeting now?
Of course.
After, okay.
Little bit of manifesto. And kind of like a, opening the floor for people to share the things that they are being, things and people they are being challenged by, so that they can find support and create a strategy to deal with it.
JJ will bring up Jet and his friends are just been total dicks.
Mm.
I don't know what we can really do about it because they're a bunch of fourth years, but
We could tell the teachers.
that's the last thing you want to do.
I am slowly shrinking in the corner, not looking at anyone.
Why is it bad to tell it? I mean, the teachers say that if we have difficulties, we should tell them.
Of course they're going to say that. They're the teachers.
Now,
You
granted,
don't want to be a snitch.
some of them have been murderers, so there's that.
Right.
And at least one of them is a secret agent. So I think you have to be
What?
judicious about which ones you trust.
Oh, this is a whole potion teacher rumor?
Mm.
Anyways, I'm not going to be a snitch. It's not like they help that much anyway.
Yes, that's
Also, I'm
true.
pretty sure the PE teacher would just say to suck it up
Mm.
because he's a Dragonor.
Are you suggesting that if we ambush them while they're at PE, the PE teacher won't help them?
I think if we did it in front of him, he would, depending what it is, would probably put a stop to it.
Well, so
Is there some sort of defensive measure against what they do that would at least help a bit? I don't know. Is this related to the bathroom thing?
So what they keep doing is they'll throw the frag bags like as they're about to explode, like into my room or wherever I'm at, and we just say think fast, and then I get hit with an exploding frag bag before I could do anything.
well, why don't you send it back at them with your wand?
Because they're on the frag bag team. They know exactly. They've got the timing down.
Mm. I see. Wow.
Call it cooking the frag bag.
JJ,
Yeah.
I know a spell that I could teach you that would stop them running away, and then you could throw a frag bag back, and you could cook your own, maybe.
But I don't usually have frag bags. I definitely don't keep frag bags on me.
Are they using the school's frag bags?
I have no idea.
I mean, if you start pointing out like there's missing frag bags, that's a subtle way. Who knows where they're going, but a teacher might notice. Of course, then you'd have to know how many there were or something, but
Right. I mean, I'm pretty sure the Drakenor team just has a bunch.
Well, we're going into town, and frag bags are sports gear, right? We can just
Yeah.
buy some.
We could, but I don't play frag bag. I don't really know like what the feeling is of when it's about to blow.
If someone were to be stockpiling frag bags in their room to torture other students, it seems like it's not consistent with the school's safety policy, right? Because they're
If they're a frag
explosive.
bag player,
Well, are they allowed to bring explosive objects, like a large number of them, into their rooms?
I mean, our wands are explosive objects.
I'm
Half the familiars are explosive objects.
just suggesting. We should understand what the rules and regulations are about the appropriate use of school sports equipment, because it would be a shame if they were to be stockpiling large amounts of frag bags for a non-sports related use, and as will happen with explosive devices, they were to go off.
Can Poe be hit by explosions? He's just a shadow, right?
Yes. I mean, I think he probably has been hit by explosions before. He's had a very storied career. I know he was hit with an axe many, many times.
Right. Well,
We'll keep thinking on it, and we'll have something. We'll have a plan. We'll deal with this soon, JJ. We're not going to forget about this.
No. And the question is, do you want to escalate?
I don't think anything I do is going to escalate.
And if you don't do anything, it will simply
If
continue.
they know it's me.
Exactly.
But, I mean, even if they... I don't know, unless I did something really crazy that they would stop messing with me, but I can't think of anything I could do short of actually really hurting somebody.
Well, I was thinking more along the lines of destroying their rooms and all of their things because they have stockpiled a bunch of frag bags in their room. It seems like a natural consequence. And then they wouldn't be allowed to carry them around because clearly they aren't dealing with them responsibly. And that's all true, by the way. It's not really escalating. It's more just hastening the natural consequences of people's poor decisions.
Maybe. I think they're better at fixing their own stuff, though. And frag bags aren't supposed to really... I mean, it hurts a little bit, but it's not supposed to be, like, actually injure you or anything.
Well, just something to think about. Just imagine if an entire bag of frag bags went off in one of their rooms. What would the consequences
I mean, that'd
be?
be great if they kept a whole bag of frag bags in their room.
Well, there certainly could be an entire bag of frag bags in anyone's room, couldn't there?
That's true. Get what you're putting down. Tricky to get them in there, though.
Where there's a will, there's a way. Brigham, you had something did you want to bring something to the group?
I have forgotten.
Your cousin.
Oh, right. Thank you. Sorry. So, my cousin approached me about potentially going to a secret swimming location with him and his Draconor buddies. I am suspicious, as you might guess.
Not much of a secret anymore, that's for sure.
Well, I still don't know where their swim spot is, just that they have one.
Right.
But yeah, just very suspicious about being alone with a bunch of Drakenors.
Do you think
No
they
offense to
Yeah, Drakenor's present.
no offense to Drakenor's presence. Sorry, Gustav.
I was just going to ask, do you think they practice their secret team strategies there?
I really don't know what they do. I mean, maybe my cousin's offer was on the up and up, but I'm just not sure. But just letting y'all know, buddy system. Remember, buddy system. Don't be dragged off alone with anybody, even if it sounds potentially good. Speaking of, actually, Mateo, Casey is practicing for underwater hockey at the pool and was hoping that we could join him. Do you have any energy left for today?
Yeah, sure.
All right.
Just for a little
I
bit.
don't want to walk down there by myself, so yeah, just for a little bit,
Alright,
just
buddy
to make
system.
him calm down a little bit.
Good luck.
Anybody else have any bad experiences this week?
I think someone probably tampered with my broom when I was flying and it crashed because I wasn't doing anything untoward. And it's a pretty solid broom. So if you think of it, if you take a look around Flying Club, I know there's a lot of people, but I guess I never saw anything happen. But if you hear anything, that'd be cool.
Probably jetting them.
Would they really attempt to greatly harm and potentially kill someone?
I mean, I probably
I don't think they were
died.
I don't think they were gonna, like, actually trying to kill anybody, but
60 miles an hour into a brick wall.
It wasn't quite that fast.
It was fast enough to destroy your broom.
It's only like 3 pieces.
got like a big crack down the middle of it.
Yeah.
Well, just remember what I said. Even if it was someone thinking they were being funny, it could have resulted in a really terrifying consequence. So I think we should treat it as if it was intentional.
We should keep up the buddy system. Kels, next time you're flying, you'll be with someone, right?
Yeah, I'll try to grab someone next time. Oh, Brigham, did you want to go flying sometime?
Eyes out. You're funny. No.
I mean, it'd be good practice.
I really like keeping my foot on the ground, or mostly in the water, but
Yeah, we hardly saw you the start of this week with all the practicing you were doing. You didn't even let us in the pool to look.
Casey would not let you in, yeah. When they tried to go in to look for where Calder was, he basically shut the doors in their face and said it was a closed practice and stopped trying to spy on their practice. Because they're not in Calatog.
Yeah, Casey is a little competitive and focused, and
is probably expecting you like right now.
I was expecting me probably about an hour and a half ago, actually.
You're lucky these are a tight 90-minute movies like they made back in the day.
Yeah. Do we have anything else to discuss? I don't want to leave in the middle of our meeting.
Do I have to wear a leather jacket to the school dance?
Oh,
Only if you want to be cool.
no. Maybe cool. I think Aspen could pull it off. And Phineas, to be honest, not gonna lie.
I will definitely
Maybe
be.
our whole group should get leather jackets.
Yes.
Matching movie club jackets?
Yes.
That sounds
Yeah.
expensive.
Well, I'm told that gold is worth quite a lot of money.
Yeah, you were going to exchange that.
Yeah. So, team jackets. What's our mascot?
We are not. I don't want to wear movie club jackets.
Or familiars.
Oh, Emmy's here, right?
Yeah.
What if? Because familiars seems nice. What if we could do something that plays up on the movie reel? Like maybe the reel becomes the coil of a serpent. So like a stylized movie. I don't know, I'm not the artist. But think about it. It'd be wonderful to have an Emmy original as the motto or logo of our club.
This isn't the reason you guys invited me, is it?
No, of course not. It just happened.
We end up making a lot of random plans, and we only follow through in about a third of them.
So far.
So far, that's true.
Aspen, do you think that you could persuade the familiars to appear in a short film? And that would be why they have to not be near their humans.
I mean, I could try. I mean, if we give them enough treats or persuade them with enough treats,
Are we going to make a promo pictures, promo video?
And we could put the movie club's logo as the producers.
yes. I know staff would be down if we're using our familiars. I mean, I could probably see if my sister's familiar would join. And then movie clubs, little familiars.
Maybe we can get some props and stuff for the movie while we're in town on our shopping trip.
We'll keep an eye out, see if there's anything good there.
Yeah. Also getting treats for the familiars because they deserve little treats even before the contest. Because they are treats and a delight. And they deserve everything. Because they are adorable and precious.
A lot of treats. A lot of different kinds of treats.
Yep.
Lots of fresh fruit.
Shall we walk you to practice, Brigham?
If you want. I mean, it's Mateo and I going, so we should be all right, but...
Well, sometimes a larger group is better than just two.
Yeah, I'm fine with it. Casey's probably going to yell at you when we get to the pool, though.
We won't try to come in. Did you invite Casey
Alright.
to come to movie night?
I did. He was rather focused on practice.
Ah, yes. Type A personality.
Double A. Maybe triple A.
Hmm.
Okay, then let's go to the pool. I'm looking forward to getting my foot wet.
Cool. So you guys go to the Calatog pool, and Casey is nowhere to be found.
I guess it was too late.
It's not that late.
Should we look around for him then?
Yes.
It might be that. I mean, you could check to see if he went back to the common room, right?
Is his locker open?
Yes, his stuff is still in his locker.
Oh, so like
he's gotta be
his
around
street
then.
clothes?
Yep.
Mm.
Oh shoot. My cousin and the Drakenors. Do you think maybe they got Casey?
It's a possibility.
Did you send Poe to spy on him?
Yes.
Do we have any information?
Give me a flight roll. Difficulty.
All of
It's not going
us?
to be him following. No, it just Phineas, because Poe has to do it sneakily to where he's not seen. So we'll say difficulty 11.
14.
Okay. He does see. How early does Poe start following them?
I do probably at the beginning of movie club.
Okay. He would see. Who is he following specifically? His cousin?
Yes.
Okay. He does follow Rex to the secret swim spot, which is, it's not in the Forbidden Forest. It's next to it's like, so there's the Forbidden Forest, and then there's like the restricted woods, which is like, you're not really just allowed to go in there, but it's a lot easier to be allowed to go in there. Whatever, they'll take people in there too. That's fine. But the secret swim spot is in there, kind of on the edge of the Forbidden Forest. And then after a while, his buddies join him. One of them being the main bully that was messing with you, Brigham, the Brody Gullet.
I'm rather glad.
It's mostly the Drakenors.
But there no sign of.
No sign of Casey.
Okay.
Okay. Well, at least we know then that Casey isn't captured. Well,
Not by
at least.
them.
Is there another pool?
Yeah, there's other pools.
I mean, maybe he went to one of them.
If you look, he's not in any of the other pools.
Where else would you go in swim gear on purpose?
Do we see anything out of place? Like, besides.
I mean, it's clear he was in the pool at some point because there's like water on the outside and everything.
He's not in the locker room. I'm guessing not in the bathroom.
Nope.
Is there a flagpole or something like that?
Maybe like at the front of the school.
Perhaps somebody with a license should do a quick flight around the school.
Not gonna
Yeah.
be Kels.
It's not gonna be me. My broom is broken.
All right. I'll be right back.
Cool. Give me a brains roll. Actually, give me a flight roll.
I think this is +1 because Brown.
Yes.
Yes. 18.
Great. You don't see him.
Oh, 19 because I didn't have the one, but that's whatever. It's fine. So, like, I missed and then come back. Nope, he's not anywhere out visible.
I'm really worried now. Maybe we should go contact a professor.
Yes.
Go see if he ended back up in the common rooms. mean, it seems unlikely. We can wait here. Actually, I'll go with you. And I'll wait outside for you. And the rest of you keep looking around here.
He would. I don't think he would have gone back without putting on
I
his
know,
street
but
clothes.
if he's there already and you go to a professor, oh my gosh, he's missing. And it turns out he just went to his room for reasons unknown. It'd be a bit silly.
We should at least check. And while we're there, if he's not there, we'll talk to a professor.
Yeah, because it's getting closer to lights out, so they're probably looking around and stuff. So, well, they need to make sure people are there.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, let's go.
All right.
Hobble, hobble, hobble.
So I say we go and knock on his room. Nobody answers the door.
Yes. Okay, I'm guessing he wasn't in the common room?
Nope.
Okay, where's the prefect?
Uh,
Or the professor on duty tonight?
let's see. Oh, if it'll actually switch over. There we go. Your prefect is Aspen's sister.
Perfect.
And then teachers will say it's we'll just say it's Miss Andromeda.
Okay, I guess I'll go to the prefect first. Spin sister. I totally remember her name.
Rosemary.
Thank you. I just found her in the spreadsheet. Rosemary.
Where are you looking for?
I'm looking for Casey.
Oh, you're looking for her in her room.
Yes.
She's not in her room.
She's not in her room. Is she in the common room?
No.
Dang it. Okay.
She'll be there
Trying to
later.
find the professor
but-
then. Yeah.
Okay. You'd need to go to Astrology Tower.
Oh, for the love of Pete. Kels.
Yeah.
Casey's not in his room, and neither is Rosemary, so I couldn't tell a prefect. And the teacher on duty tonight is Miss Andromeda, so we need to head up to the astronomy tower.
Okay.
Okay.
Well, let's get going. I'm sure sometime in the walk we'll be like, if you had a flying permit, I'm sure they'd let you use the broom to like go up all these stairs or something.
That's starting to sound like a good idea.
I'm just saying, flying club practice might not be the best. It could be a good idea if you're allowed to leave the pool.
I'll consider it, I say as I huff and puff up the stairs.
Where is everybody right now?
I would like to be going around through all the places that we searched for drip along
Okay.
the old, so kitchens and stuff like that.
We'll be tagging along with Gustav because buddy system.
Cool.
Is this the time of night where we would have escorted 2K back to his room, or would we have brought him
That's
with
up to
us?
you.
Okay.
Hmm.
I mean, I think it depends on what he wanted to be doing with his evening. But I think it's one of those things where we would deposit him in his room. But either way.
Or we could have left him aside.
Oh, maybe they're practicing.
Well, Sai doesn't come to movie club, I don't think.
No, he didn't come to movie club.
Clearly, he's been a nude model in the art room.
Ew.
I'm doubting that one. Do we even have an art room?
Yeah.
Okay, that's good.
Okay, Gustav, give me a brains roll.
Six.
Cool. Phineas, what were you doing?
I think I tagged along with Gustav and Aspen for a bit at
Okay.
least.
Gotcha. Okay. And you guys are just checking what, classrooms and stuff? Alcoves?
Right. Gotta check the alcoves. Or any place where someone might secret someone away? Or like where would be embarrassing for someone to be found in their swim clothes? At least that's what Phineas is keeping an eye out for.
A public place, like the Great Hall, where we eat food.
Or something like that. We're mostly just going quickly, looking at various
Yeah.
places.
You guys haven't found him. It's getting close to lights out. Probably like an hour.
Yes. Well, I know where we should go. To Professor Levi's office.
Cool. Luckily, he's seems to always be there. He does not go home even when he's not on shift. But okay, so you go to Professor Levi.
He's got the main lights out. He's got a little lamp on his desk, and he's kind of hunched over making notes. And of course, Phineas moves in very quietly. Stands right by him.
Doesn't say anything until he catches the corner of it. His eye is like,
Professor Levi.
He like knocks his book off his desk. He's Phineas grabs his book. Yes.
We have a missing student.
Calder?
No.
Oh. How long has he been missing? How do you know he's missing?
He was most insistent that Brigham join him for underwater hockey practice at the pool after our movie night. We escorted Brigham there, and he was not there, but his street clothes were. He is not in his room or in the common room or in any of the public places, classrooms, etc. we have searched.
Wait, who is this?
Casey.
Casey.
Yes.
And he does a quick like check of something really quick, and he's like, oh, okay. Okay.
What was that?
Nothing, Phineas.
I don't believe you.
I know you don't. It's not something for you to know. Okay. So he was doing underwater hockey practice.
Yes.
His stuff is still there,
yes.
and he's not in the pool.
Correct.
So, leading, do you think there's foul play?
Yes.
Okay.
Seems reasonable.
I would agree. Okay. You guys stay here. I will handle it.
All right.
Phineas.
Thank you.
When I say you stay here,
Yes.
I mean you don't follow me.
Yes.
You're not going to follow me, are you?
No.
Or have Poe follow me?
No.
Or anything of the sort?
It's not even on my mind. I mean, it kind of is now, but it wasn't before.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
What counts as anything of the sort?
What's that?
What counts as anything of the sort?
Him basically making sure that he figures out what Professor Levi is up to.
Nope. I am not planning to follow him or send Poe to follow him. Or in any other way, induce anyone or anything else to follow him.
Makes sense. Okay. So he'll usher you out.
Well, we're not there. We're not here anymore. Oh, you mean here?
You can go back to your common room for bed checks. I've got this.
No, I'd rather wait here.
Okay, that's fine.
That's
Just
what you
wait in my
said.
office.
All right.
No, that's fine. Yeah, you can wait in my office.
All right. That way you'll know where we are.
Just a second. And he like puts some books in some drawers, locks it. He's like, okay, don't go through my stuff, and then he'll go.
All right. I mean, all right, he goes. I don't say all right when he says don't look through my stuff.
And I get Sap to follow.
What you do is on you. I simply will not be doing it. I am very curious about what he looked at, though. Is anyone else curious what he looked at? Likely a list of students with connections to something. Students who are wanted by something. Students who are on a watch list. He seemed relieved when Casey wasn't on the list.
I'm very curious.
It's books, Kels. Aren't you curious?
Are we even there?
Sure.
I thought we went up to Miss Andromeda's place.
Oh, maybe that's right. Never mind.
Yeah, we're hiking to the astronomy tower at the moment.
Well, I am there, and I am curious, Phineas.
I am also curious.
I am not supposed to go through anything, so I'm not going to.
I am going to check the lock on the drawer that he put the books in.
Okay, do you touch it?
I mean, sure.
Okay, it turns red.
And it goes away if I stop touching it?
Nope, it stays red.
Oh well. I am going to try and disenchant it somehow using magic.
I mean,
Really?
You busted out the magically locked window. I don't see why not.
That was, just a seal that he broke, which he was insane, by the way, because you got multiple lucky breaks.
I am not trying to unlock it. I am trying to stop it from taking my fingerprints or whatever. I don't want to.
Gotcha. You're trying to change it back to its original color, which you've learned how to do in Transfiguration.
Ah, yes.
Okay. Give me a... It's still going to be difficult because it's not really... It's more of a glow, but we'll say difficulty 15.
And it's
Do a... Give me a charm roll.
difficulty 15.
Yep.
I shall accept my failure gracefully and take my point.
You're lucky you have that spell slinger, man. All right. Okay.
But since he now knows that somebody has been through his office, there's really nothing stopping me from trying to open the lock.
Right, you've already...
Right. But presumably I can just continue casting spells until something happens or he comes back.
To an extent. I don't want you to abuse the whole spell slinger thing to be able to just like keep collecting adversity tokens until you succeed.
No more adversity tokens.
With no consequences.
No more adversity tokens. Just the one check. I just want to see what's inside the desk.
Okay. It's going to be difficult because he definitely magically locked it knowing Phineas would want to, and he wanted to put a specific kind of seal on it for somebody else.
So intriguing.
So we'll say I'll let you choose fight or brawn, difficulty 10.
I guess I'll
Brawn,
go.
right?
I don't know which one is the
Possibly.
highest.
That would be a 3,
Okay,
but we do have points.
Yes.
you do have a lot.
How many minor boons do we have?
Oh, we have at least 7. Or 6, sorry.
So I will use 4 minor boons and 3 adversity tokens to bring that up to 10.
Beautiful.
Okay. You barely make it. So it opens, but it's very clear it kind of like got busted open. I mean, it's already clear that it was tampered with, so.
In that case, I will take whatever's inside the drawer outside so that Phineas and Aspen can see. I'm not stealing it. I'm going to put it back once. I don't intend to steal it at the moment.
Okay. It's a lot of books on specific magical creature or specific more supernatural creatures, but they have notes in them.
Anything on mermen?
It seems like he's trying to cross-reference and trying to figure out essentially if Phineas could be part of any of these creatures. There's like Wendigos and all kinds of like random creatures that he's trying to figure out if there's any precedent for them crossbreeding with wizards or humans, normal nymphs, or anything like that where there could be something, even where it's like, you know, just an example, not something he's actually theorized, like a Wendigo and a vampire or something. Like he's looking at everything, trying to figure out, you know, maybe he's a fourth of this. Who knows?
Phineas, do you know who your real parents were?
No idea.
Do you want to know?
Well, I know that they were very bad. Because Granny said so.
Okay, but do you want to follow this list and look for it?
I don't know.
I am going to copy down the ones that he struck out so that we know. Well,
It seems like he was fixated on Wendigo for a bit because he was trying to find the connection of like cannibalism, of like, okay, Hag eats children. I don't know if she ever fed children to him, whatever, if that's the reason why she took him in. But
I mean, those
it
cookies
seems
were
like
pretty
he's. Yeah. It seems like he's not been like, oh yeah, Wendigo. No. It's like,
Aspen, do you have anything you want to do with the books?
Are the books like besides the notes written in them, are they like books you could just like find at the library type deal?
some of them are a little more journals, more so. Like it would be very difficult to just get a copy in the library.
Aspen would look at the ones that are more difficult to find because they're difficult to find. So this may be her only chance to look at whatever creatures are hidden inside.
Yeah, it seems like there's like a note that on one of the books it says, "Hope this helps," and it's kind of someone's personal journal of their own experiences. It's like, well, I guess you wouldn't know who it is personally, but it seems they have a lot of experience with supernatural creatures.
Ooh, how's this for fun? So as Aspen is, Phineas is acting a little strange. Like when Gustav asked him, "Don't you want to know?" He just like literally froze a little bit. It's just like I don't know if I want to or not. So he's just sort of absently looking over Aspen's shoulder, kind of distractedly as Aspen flips through pages, and then there's a thud on the floor as Phineas passes out.
I'm going to put these books back because if Phineas wakes up, then we don't want him collapsing again. Can you try and wake him up, Aspen?
Sure. First she'll try the sniff test, so she'll take off her shoe and puts it to his face.
Ugh. Wait. Yes. What?
He passed out.
Hello, Aspen. Oh, I did.
Yeah.
That's unfortunate. Where am
Yeah. Professor Levi's office.
I? Oh. Is he here?
No, he's out searching for Casey.
The swimmer.
Yeah.
Oh. Well, we should be looking too, shouldn't we?
He told us to stay here.
Oh. Well, we should follow him. Or I should have Poe follow him.
He specifically said to not.
Did I
Do
agree not to?
Yes, you agreed.
Oh. Oh well. Then I suppose we should wait here.
Why don't we continue looking? I'll just close the door and we can go on.
Oh, I have to stay here and you can... Yes. Yes, that makes good sense.
Okay. And you'll be all right.
I'm fine. Yes. Except, you need to change your socks more often, Aspen. Your shoes smell like Pegasus poo.
Yeah. Yep.
We haven't checked the stables, have we? No, wait, we did. We said we haven't looked where Drip was.
Cool. Well, you guys. It is getting closer to bed check, so you got to be careful. Phineas would be okay because he's in Professor Levi's office and he told him to wait there.
Did we make it to the top of the tower?
Yeah, I was about to say, yeah, Kel's and Brigham. What are you guys doing now that you finally hooked it up to the top of Astronomy Tower?
We're gonna be real close to bed checks. And we knock at the door.
You guys just missed her. She went down a different staircase to go do bed check. I'm just kidding.
The worst tower. There's an upstairs and then there's a downstairs, and you have to go one way or the other. Them's the rules.
All right, she opens the door. She's like, "Oh, hello. Can I help you?"
Yes.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Brigham.
Hi, Professor. We think there's a missing student.
Oh dear. Well, that's not good. What makes you think they're missing? How long have they been missing? Did they miss classes today?
No, they've been missing for a couple hours, I think. It's Casey, captain of the Calatog underwater hockey team. He asked me to go practice with him, and I said I'd do so after movie night. And I went down to the pool just, 30 minutes ago? 45 minutes? How long did it take to climb that stairway? And his street clothes were there, but he wasn't there. And we looked all around the area and looked all around where we could find outside, and we checked the common room, and he's not there. And so we're getting worried.
Okay, that is a little worrying. Casey, I assume he's a first year?
No.
He is a first year. He's not captain of the team. He's a first year with you. Yeah, he's a 10-year class.
My bad. I've been remembering that wrong. Yes,
That's why he wants to be a starter. He's not a starter right now because he's a freshman.
Got it. I just thought I was a captain and very, very competitive. Okay, sorry. Yes, Casey, first year.
Okay. Do you know his last name? You probably know it. It's Ward.
Ward. I was just gonna look it up. Ward.
Okay. I will work on this. Why don't you wait by his room in case he comes back?
Okay.
Um,
We left some people out by the pool just in case they could find him too. Should we go and get them and bring him back inside?
yes, I would tell them because it is getting close to bed checks. So I don't want them to get in trouble for being outside of their common rooms and bedrooms.
Okay. Kells, back to the pool we go.
All right.
So
Thank
tell
you.
me more about this flying thing.
Yeah. There's a railing on these stairs. I bet.
You guys, Sai goes down, and you see him just essentially do a sort of like slide down there. He's like, "Oh, hey guys," and does a kind of slide down the rail.
Okay, that
I'm
looks
just
fun. Let's
like-
try that.
Yeah. Yeah, it'll probably go fine. Maybe you do it, and I'll just run alongside.
Okay, this is a good plan.
You're running as he's going.
Yeah, this will be fine.
You
Running
getting
downstairs
your,
goes great.
getting your cardio in.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, yeah,
I have to run now instead of flying around the school. I have to run around,
Give me a flight roll difficulty. We'll say 5.
Okay, flight. I'll take half then. So that's a
Yeah,
6.
I'll take
Okay.
half.
Cool. You guys don't
Yeah.
do anything crazy and like fall down the stairs. Yeah, that's fine. Cool.
Much faster on the way back.
Yeah. You guys get to the pool. Nobody's there.
Of course.
Of course not.
Well, maybe they went back to their rooms already.
Probably. We should probably head back. Bed checks are soon.
Yeah.
Can we check and see if the locker still has his street clothes?
Yes, it does still have his street clothes.
All right, well, he
And
probably
just
hasn't
quick
come
glance
back.
around. Yeah, he's still not back.
Yeah.
Nope.
Okay, well, we've told the teachers, and that's all we can do now. Let's head back to our common rooms, our
Yep.
dorms.
I'll walk you to
Yeah.
yours. I can probably make it back to where I need to go.
Thanks, Kels. You're the best.
Yep.
So, Aspen, if he was kidnapped by Kelatogs, Draconors even, if he was kidnapped by Draconors, do you think they would have taken him to somewhere near where Draconors live?
Probably not. I don't know. Like, I mean, I was doing it. I'd probably not take him back near base to like where people could easily pinpoint it to me type deal. I'd probably bring him back to like one of the other houses and then frame them, be like, oh no, oh look, Severus,
Right, but you wouldn't want to take him to Kelatog because one of his housemates might meet him by accident and rescue him. So it's
Yeah.
one of the other three.
the one that wasn't nearby type deal, but also not close to my house.
Okay. SJ, is one of the houses further away from the others or anything like that?
Yeah, they're in different places. So like Cephalon is probably the highest on the top floor. Drakenor is very bottom, kind of like basement.
Let's go and check Cephalon then. Well, the rooms near Cephalon, the classrooms and so on.
You can. I mean, you were just over there because Professor Levi's
Oh.
classroom is in the.
Let's trek somewhere else apart from Cephalon. As far away from Cephalon as possible.
Okay, I would say like Spaderis is the basement, and then it's like Drakenor, Lupercil's right in the middle, and then Calatog.
Well, if we started at Cephalon, then we might as well do them in order. So Lupercal and then Spiderus.
Cool. Go ahead and give me a brain roll.
Five. And presumably this is long enough to take us to beyond bedtime.
I got an 8.
Yeah, are you guys staying out past bed checks?
Aspen?
Yeah. I mean, the suspended punishment is over, so, I mean, it probably won't be too bad.
Yeah, no, sure.
Wow.
My
no.
buddy's in danger. Maybe. I don't know.
Okay, a professor did tell you guys that he had it.
He also told us to stay in the office until he came back.
Which you chose not to do.
Technically,
Right.
he also said you could go back to the common room.
Yeah.
Yeah, it said you could go back for bed checks.
And I mean, technically, we are making our way down. Just taking little detours.
Right. Cool. Well, I am going to have Aspen's favorite teacher find you guys.
How dare. How
So-
dare.
Professor Hara sees you two wandering the halls past bed checks. Excuse me. What are you all doing?
Professor, our friend is missing, and so we were looking for him. Casey, you know? You know Casey? You teach him?
I do teach Casey. If you're talking about the first year,
Yes, yes. He went for a swim, and all his clothes are still in the locker, but we can't find him anywhere. So,
okay, well,
so we're
maybe
looking.
he's in his bed like he's supposed to, unlike the two of you.
But his clothes were still in the locker. He wouldn't just wander around the halls naked.
I would hope not. That still doesn't excuse you two for being out in the halls.
Yes, Professor. Sorry, Professor.
Aspen, can't say I'm surprised.
Yeah. I mean, there's probably a rumor going around that I enter boys' bathrooms, so.
Did you say that out loud?
Yes.
Why are you in the boys' bathrooms?
It was one time, and this guy named Jet, he pushed me in with his
I
friend.
don't want to hear about what you're doing in the male bathroom. Do not go in the male bathroom again.
I will do my best to never enter a male bathroom ever again. It was not an experience I wish to ever endure.
Again, I don't want to hear about it.
Okay.
Not interested in the details. I'm gonna escort you two back to your rooms. You first because you're the Purcell. Aspen, you will accompany us, and then I will drop you off at Drakenor. And I'm sure your head of house will love to hear about this.
Yes, Professor.
He drops you off. You minus 20 house points. Aspen minus 25. So you're going in boys' bathrooms. Cool. So, Brigham, Kells, do you guys go back to your common rooms?
Of course we did.
Yeah, we're the good ones of the group. We went right back to bed.
We were like, well, we told a professor about it. She said she got it and told us to go to bed.
Cool.
And we assume everyone else did because they weren't at the pool.
Right. So eventually, it's some time, but Professor Levi does come back to his office. He has a dog with him. And he walks into the office, closes the door. He's like, did your friends go back to their rooms?
I think so.
Okay, well, I would like you to meet this guy. Was supposed to be kind of a foster situation, didn't really work out, and it is very clearly not just a dog. It's got like sort of like curled devil horns and kind of like a skeletal back and everything.
Was it a hellhound?
The bloodhound.
Oh, I see.
Yeah, he didn't have a home after the raid, and somehow I ended up with him. So, Casey's fine. He's headed back to his room now. I thought I told you guys not to go into my stuff.
What do you mean?
I mean, the busted drawer. I didn't leave it like that, Phineas.
Phineas will look over at it and go, oh, I don't know anything about that. Also, I don't know. I feel rather more odd than usual. Don't know why.
You feel better?
Well, no.
Seems to me you're having either a very convenient memory spell or just saying you are.
Well, I remember smelling Aspen's shoe. That's indelibly marked in my brain. But everything else
And that
is,
made you feel better?
no, everything else is just sort of hazy. But no, my friend said that promised you that I would stay here, so I stayed here. I'm not sure why.
Okay. He puts the books. He's like, "Did you look at all this stuff?"
Oh, I didn't even notice it until you pointed it out.
Okay. Did you guys ever look at the thing that he was looking at?
I think so.
Okay, it was just a calendar.
But Phineas literally barely remembers
Okay,
most of
yeah.
today.
So, it's like, okay, you should go to bed. I'll take you back to make sure you don't get in trouble for being outside of your room.
It does feel rather late. Why was I here?
You were looking for Casey.
Right, the swimmer.
Yes.
Oh, I see. And he's fine now.
Yes.
Okay, good. Where was he? Why were we looking for him?
You were looking for him because his stuff, his street clothes, as you called it, were still in his locker, but he was not in the pool.
Oh, that sounds very upsetting.
Yes, but he's fine now. Let's get you to bed.
Okay.
And he kind of ties up the dog and takes you over.
Can I pet the dog?
to theirs. I wouldn't.
Why not?
He's still getting used to people. He wasn't really raised in the best environment, understandably. It took me a while just to earn some trust there. Doesn't do too well with strangers.
I wasn't raised in the best environment either. Can I hold out the back of my hand, being cautious?
Okay. But he'll be sure to like hold him back to make sure he doesn't.
Yeah, just hold
Yeah.
the back of my hand.
Give me a charm roll, difficulty 5.
It's possible. Because I've got on charm. Oh, no. Charm is by D4. I will, however, spend adversity tokens because I want to make friends with Puppy. I will spend 2 adversity tokens.
Cool. And you're adding 1 to your charm every time, right?
Why am I adding 1 to my charm?
as a first year, you're a
Oh.
cute little first year, and you automatically all get +1 to charmed rolls.
Cool. Well, I will get one more than needed.
Okay.
Because I spent the diversity tokens.
Cool. He sniffs it. He doesn't bite. He's very cautious. But Professor Levi's calm, so he seems a bit calm. And it's okay. Like, he's not going to lick you or anything crazy, but he just sniffs it and still looks a little tense, but it's definitely not biting you or anything.
Oh, good.
Okay. Bed for you.
Yes.
And he'll take you to the Spaderis common room, drop you off there, let the person know that fine, he was with me. Good. Cool. I think that's about it for now. Yeah, we'll wait for all the other stuff next time. So I am SJ or SJ__ sidekick. I don't stream, but I'm on here a lot. Is our next game on Thursday?
I think we still need to decide that. So I
Okay.
guess brief huddle afterwards, but I feel like it's some Thursday in this month seems likely.
Okay. Cool. So it'll be soon. Just look out in the Discord or have notifications on. Whatever. Kels.
All right. I'm Misha or Misha_ less than 3 here on Twitch. Not that I stream, I'm mostly here. And you can find me on Twitter at MishaWeha or on Tumblr with the same thing, or the C+ Comics Tumblr where we post some of the fan art that you've probably seen in the fan art channel. Yeah, I think that's about it. Hatter?
Hello, I am Hatter, and I have been Brigham this evening. It's been nice to be back. So many shenanigans, so many plans. We're gonna do so much. You can find me usually here on C+ channel content. Maybe even next Thursday, this Thursday, or next Thursday, or both. We'll see. Sen.
I would like to mention that there are no more Thursdays in this month. It will be next month. The
Yeah,
next
you're right.
Thursday will be March. But yeah, I've been Aspen. I am Sin, or sinful__ potato on Twitch, Instagram, Twitter, TikTok, most other social medias. I play Aspen, who is very upset about losing house points, but also I guess it's meant to be. It's probably going to be a challenge now to see how many house points she can lose instead of going up. Just try to go down. Be like the best, most loved person in Drakenor, It's gonna be amazing. Also, she wants to pet the puppy that she doesn't know about.
Yes.
Yeah, good stuff.
Hello, I am Twi'lek. I have been playing Gustav. I will be playing someone who's expelled. And next session is a very special session because we get to see whether or not Miss Mesmer is wearing lipstick to her date.
That she doesn't
Zero.
know about yet. Yeah, I'm 00 Daylight. Michael, so the good news is that Phineas doesn't remember that Gustav tried to frame him for the break-in. So that won't come back to bite. Gustav is, he's gone straight up mafioso, just so we're all clear. But that's fine. So we're working on getting this scheduled, and then also I think Doom Patrol, Fate Brigade, right?
Yes, that will be whenever we're done with these Thursdays.
Yes.
The next Thursdays, I'm hoping, will be Fate Brigade.
And Teen Justice Academy.
We'll see if everyone is available at the dates we selected, but hopefully.
Yeah, we've got people spread around the world, so it's a little challenging. So we got more shenanigans in the making. So awesome, thanks. We should probably go and see someone. So at the top of my list, Total Party Chill is doing tabletop RPGs. Blinky's playing No Man's Sky. Skeletor is doing Son of the Forest. What do we think? Or someone can just tell me, make a recommendation. Diesel Shot's doing D&D. Any of that strike anyone's fancy?
I've been hanging out on Blinky's channel the last few days because they're doing drops for the new No Man's Sky stuff.
Oh, cool. Let's go see if some folks can get some drops over at Blinky's. Cool. Let me type that in. If someone would drop in the raid calls, please. Yep. Looks like it's taken. Cool. Well, awesome. Well, everyone say a hi to Blinky, who is a delight. And yeah, come join us in the Discord at community.cpluscontent.tv. If you are not, that's the best place to get an announcement of the next scheduled things. And as SJ mentioned, you can always just hit the alert bell and you can be notified when we are ready to go live next time. So awesome. Well, thanks everyone. And we will see you again soon. Bye.